home. Don't ask him about preseason games, oh no. Stuffing things in Griffin Basso. Despite it being on the internet, he can call it what he wants, so Glenn Clark Radio. Glenn Clark Radio. Glenn Clark Radio. Duke sucks.
And good morning. It is a Would You Rather Wednesday edition of Glenn Clark Radio. I'm Glenn. He's Griffin. And with us this morning.
Are you going to play any Judas Priest or not?
Probably not. With us this morning.
Are you not a Les Binks fan?
It's not that I'm not. It's that we can't play music.
You just played that thing.
I
John
understand.
Proctor. It's awful.
It's Chris Herring. Right there. He's a fan of yours.
Oh, that was actually was nuts.
Yeah.
No, that was seriously.
He
That
tells
was
me all the time.
No,
he actually enjoys it when you're.
no. It was.
Bothers me.
It was actually good. I was kidding.
He's here. He's the host of Fairways and Greens, Sundays 4:27 to 6 o'clock.
Yeah, correct.
Drew Forrester is with us.
Yep.
What's going on, buddy?
Yep. All good. All good. Are you going to play the Masters music or not while we do the review?
Can't play any music.
You can't even play that? Well, you definitely can't play that.
Can't play anything.
Not if you want a
Oh my
credential.
God, they might shoot us.
Yeah, right. I definitely can't believe we haven't gotten a cease and desist yet for last Sunday.
Oh, well, you were just doing.
I just did play-by-play.
Yeah.
That's all I did.
Drew's just like, and now Justin Rose is lining up for a putt. The guy in the other room screaming, "You have to take a break." Drew just keeps describing everything. And now Jim Nantz, who you all might not know, is wearing blue underwear today.
It was actually like a pale red on Saturday, almost like a pink.
Oh,
It was like salmon.
salmon? That was what he was going.
It's a popular color. So anyway,
Yeah, Drew is here. Drew Forrester, drewsmorningdish.com. I watched more. I didn't watch any of the other days. But on Sunday, I watched way more of the Masters than I have in years.
it was insane.
Yeah, it was nuts. It was nuts. And that's what I said. The theater was
it-
unbelievable.
It
really was.
It was like it was scripted, right? Like that was a movie. That was
Right.
Tin Cup 2.
Right.
It really was. It was Tin Cup 2.
Well, except for the result.
But no, I mean it had everything you wanted in a dramatic piece of theater. It had you could have rooted for Bryson and not rooted against Rory. Like there was a hero, a villain. There were guys from the outside. Patrick Reed somehow hung around.
I thought he was dead.
and didn't cheat.
You sure?
Well, yeah, we're not sure. It was amazing. And it's kind of funny how when he made par at 12, I don't know. Remember if I'm on the exact timeline. He had a 4-shot lead after 10. Then maybe it went to 3 at 11, but he parred 12 and he was at least 3 ahead. And I said if he just hits this ball in the middle of the green at 13 and makes birdie or par.
Yeah. How'd that go?
It's over.
Yeah.
And I said it's going to be kind of cool to see this coronation happen for him finally, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
gracefully walk up 18,
Don't sweat it out.
doff in his cap. It's going to be awesome. And I was saying this on the air, like this is what he deserves after all the ups and downs and the near misses and all of this. This is what he deserves. He deserves to be 4 shots ahead, going up 18, and having all the adulation while he's crying. And instead, he hits it in the bunker from 125 yards away, misses the putt, and now all of a sudden you're like, holy hell, this kid might lose. I mean, it never looked like he was going to lose. Then it looked like he wasn't going to win. I mean, it was crazy. It was nuts. But I tell you, I think in my lifetime, well, I wouldn't say in my lifetime. I would say it like this. There are things that I've seen in my life that I sort of never thought I would see. The Cubs winning the World Series is one of the top
that's
5 things I've ever seen. I'm not talking about
Like
things that are close to our heart, like the
Right.
Ravens win the Super Bowl. I'm talking about from the from the global standpoint of sport, I never thought I'd see the Cubs win the World Series because they had never won the World Series, right? Like in my lifetime. And I I'm following along with all these people in Chicago, these long-suffering, we feel like it now in Baltimore, all these long-suffering Cubs fans. The Cubs win the World Series. The Red Sox win the World Series in 2004. Those two things. I think that's why we all sort of secretly last year wanted to see the Lions win, right? Like, we want to see that happen in our life. If the U.S. ever won the World Cup.
Our former boss used an amount of restraint. You know, just things that we never thought we'd see.
Well, we haven't seen that.
Oh, right. Yeah, sorry. My fault.
No, but the Capitals winning the Stanley Cup, for me,
it's
qualified
personal,
as something like that because of where they had been. Like, the Ravens didn't qualify like that for me for some reason, but again, they won it 4 years in, and they won it 4 years into their existence in 5 years, 4 years, 5 years into their existence in Baltimore. But the Capitals kind of qualified like that for me. This the other day, and Tiger winning in 19, even though he had won 14 other times, probably also had the same impact only because there was very, very little chance he was going to win again, right? This the other day is one of those seminal moments for sure. Like, I'll always remember where I was and who I was with when I saw it unfold. Like, it was amazing. And I think this is – I really, really do believe this. I know.
Why is this that part I don't understand. Like, I said this before. Most of these players, when you're that close, you're going to win one. I don't know that this is all that amazing as much as it was just a neat experience that he actually did it after. Like, I think you could feel the tension.
Well, in
golf, when he raced to make that putt on the first 18, like, you just knew. You just knew.
I didn't think he was. And I would say this even today. If Rose makes that birdie putt, McIlroy doesn't make it.
Oh, I almost no doubt.
It was make-miss.
Like,
First guy to make wins.
Right.
Why do I feel like that? Because of the historical importance of the Grand Slam, and I'm not saying this to, like, jab at you. People that don't really understand golf, or follow golf that much, I should say, don't realize how it's – you should know this because of your affection for tennis.
I agree.
How many guys have won the Grand Slam in tennis?
I know exactly.
I don't even know how
saying.
many.
It's not that many, and Pete Sampras never did it. Like, I understand exactly what you're saying. What I'm saying is I think I'd
almost argue it's harder in tennis, frankly.
Oh, I think it's definitely harder in tennis, like, just because of the nature of the three different surfaces.
Right.
But to the point, I'm not taking anything away from how difficult it is to win a Grand Slam. I agree with that part.
You're just saying he was always going to win one.
Once you got to the point where he was that good and that consistent.
But Greg Norman had the same thing going on too, and he couldn't. There's something about that golf course and that tournament that's different, and it's hard to explain. But there's just something about that place that is, you know, we make fun of all of the little idiosyncratic things that they do there, right? Mm-hmm. We make fun of all of that
I'm
stuff.
going to continue doing
but
that.
we make fun of all of it. But it also all adds to the kind of oddity of the place and the mysterious nature of it. And there's just something about
and if uniquely it's that getting the fourth one at the Masters is more difficult than getting the fourth one at
100%. And I guess that you may have just given me the answer. It is the hardest one, and I think Morikawa is a good example. Somebody asked me Drew's Morning Dish the other day, like, who are the next best chances for it? I would say Morikawa is the guy with the next best chance because he has the British Open and the PGA, and his game is really tailor-made for both the U.S. Open and the Masters. That said, if he winds up winning the U.S. Open first, it becomes more difficult for him, I believe, to win the fourth one as the Masters, whereas Rahm has the Masters out of the way. He has to win the PGA and the British Open. And the British Open, nothing's a slam dunk. Mm-hmm. But the British Open for Rahm, it is like asking Federer to go to win a clay court match. A grass court match. Yeah. Rahm's going to win a British Open. He's just got to figure out a way, obviously. Well, A, he's got to do it. But B, he's got to figure out a way to win the PGA. So, anyway, but that's your point is maybe it is that the Masters is just so hard to win when you have to win it.
Mm-hmm.
And Norman, it is his career scarlet letter.
Mm-hmm.
How many times he was there and failed to win it. Norman could have won 4 of them with any degree of A, luck, B, the other guy not shooting 66 on the last day. Like
right.
Norman did a lot of that stuff to himself,
yes.
no doubt. But in 87, the putt that Justin Rose had, they called it the other day on Sirius, the Greg Norman putt. That putt in 87, Greg Norman had the identical putt that Justin Rose had. And if you ever go back and watch it on YouTube, or look at it on YouTube, Greg Norman's ball literally stopped a millimeter away from going in. Literally. He's one roll of the ball forward from the ball going in instead of missing on the left. Then he goes to the first playoff hole. Ballesteros gets eliminated, which for Norman was huge because that was his adversary at the time.
I believe it's Ballesteros.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, I believe that's
and then they go to...
You should probably show some respect.
And then,
I know you're not really into golf.
And then they go to 11, and Mize terribly misses the green. Norman hits it in the front right corner exactly where he's supposed to hit it. Game over. Mize is going to hit it to 8 feet and miss. Norman's going to 2-putt and win the Masters, and freaking Larry Mize makes it.
Right.
So some of the things that happened to Norman were of his own doing, and some of them weren't. It's an incredibly hard golf tournament to win, which then makes you realize how unbelievably talented Nicklaus and Tiger were to have won it 6 and 5 times. Because it is really, really hard to win that tournament.
Look, I'll listen to all the argument that, like, if you're going to win.
And I think this is going to, I'm telling you, I know this has been the popular hyperbole over the last 4 or 5 days. I really do think this is going to spark him.
Yeah, that's what Kevin was saying the other day.
I really do.
Yeah.
I think this is going to spark him. I think he could win. This is a weird year too, man. If you ever thought someone could win all 4 of them in 1 year, it's tailor-made for him. He's won at Quail before. It's a great driver's golf. Everybody that's ever won there is a great driver of the golf ball. If he goes down there and wins, then he goes to Oakmont, wide open, no trees, just blast it with your driver, and then he goes to Royal Portrush, where he's played 500 times. I'm telling you, he's going to win He's going to win 3 more in his career, if not more, now that he's got this out of the way.
All right.
He does have a personal issue that is kind of well known that he's navigating through. That did derail Tiger, but it also was in a different.
Well, yeah, I mean,
it was in a different.
Yeah,
but any
a little bit different.
But
it's a little bit different.
It is. But any family strife.
I get it.
And it isn't all that much different than Tiger if you know what's going on.
Yeah.
It isn't. But they're dealing with it differently. That's for sure. But that could derail him, and Nicklaus always said that, right? The only 2 things that can crush Tiger are a bad back and a bad marriage. Well,
right. Yep.
Tiger actually got both of them.
Yep. All the above.
Right,
Correct.
right.
Check all of the boxes.
It was awesome. It was great for golf. He is, I mean, and Scheffler played great. He just couldn't make any putts on the weekend. He is, if he isn't the best player in the world, he's 1A. And if you look at what he's done over the last 15 years, he's unquestionably the best player in the world. Unquestionably. I mean, despite Scheffler's year a year ago, no one has done what McIlroy has done over the last 15 years. He just had this weird 11-year chasm where he didn't win a major, but he was still winning gobs and gobs and gobs of golf tournaments. So this was really he's not going to get to 80 wins by any means, but I tell you what he will do. He'll wind up winning more than Phil in his career for sure. And he will, when his career's done, he'll be the second best player of this era behind Tiger.
Okay.
For sure.
Okay. That's a bold,
Because Phil's got 45 or 46, 45, I think, and he'll never win again. And he's got 5, and Rory's got 5, or Phil's got 6 now.
Yeah, but Phil also has the Crushers or whatever.
That's right, correct.
You got to keep that
correct.
in mind. Fiddlesticks or whatever
right.
the hell he's got that.
Everyone in the golf.
Did Rory win a video game title?
Everyone in the golf world is insistent that Phil's on 2 brownies a day.
Well, why wouldn't he?
Phil has figured out I'm just gonna eat these brownies and play golf and have fun.
I mean, sounds pretty good to me, dog.
That's what that's the big story on. So anyway.
There's a great scene in Righteous Gemstones this season where Megan Mullally's character. By the way, just having Megan Mullally back on television is she's the best.
No question.
She's so
Top
great.
5 character of all time.
She says to John Goodman.
What's the little short guy from Will and Grace that died recently?
Oh, Leslie Jordan. Oh, I love
When those
Leslie
two-
Jordan. My
when
God.
those two-
the best. The best.
When he walked in that time and she goes, "Oh, I smell gin and regret."
So great, man. But Megan Mullally.
She's like, I know why I slept with you once. I was unconscious.
Megan Mullally.
He's like, it was the best 2 minutes. He goes, don't kid. He goes, don't kid yourself. It was the best 2 minutes of your life.
Megan Mullally is on this season of Righteous Gemstones, and John Goodman is a retired preacher.
I could have sworn he died 4 times. By the way,
He's still
Goodman.
very much with us.
He didn't die after.
How old is John Goodman?
Wait a minute. He
actually?
didn't die after.
He's got to be in his 70s.
After Hangover
mid-70s?
3.
No, he's not that.
His
that
career
old, is he?
didn't die after Hangover 3.
No, well, I mean, I get it. I understand.
Oh my God.
No, John Goodman's still brilliant. I love
He's
John.
72.
He's 72. All right.
Oh
I
my
thought he was
God.
older than that, though. So he's a retired preacher that's living out his days.
Oh,
and He was a
gotcha.
mega church preacher.
Now he's a.
Righteous Gemstones is brilliant.
Okay,
Like,
and
it's
what
just a
channel is this
brilliant-
on?
It's on HBO.
Okay.
It's
We can't afford that.
It's very adult. It's
Okay.
very
Okay.
adult.
Okay.
But
You
John,
don't see John's wee-wee, do you?
not his.
Okay. I mean,
But you see,
a lot of other stuff.
I mean,
A
there's a
lot.
lot. They
Okay.
go really.
Okay, it's okay as long as we don't
So,
see that.
yes.
I don't think I could see
I
that.
mean, we haven't yet. We've seen a lot of Walton Goggins.
but not
but not
John's.
John Goodman.
They're saving that for year
The finale,
2.
right? So
Megan Mullally
there's
in
a
the
scene
bathtub with him.
where he's a retired preacher, so there's
Right.
like this sort of like kind of sweet, like I don't really know what these things are,
Right.
and they're gonna go spend a weekend together at a cabin.
Okay.
And she's like, I brought some magical brownies. He's like, what are those? She's
God.
like, I think you're really gonna like these.
Oh,
It's really great, man. All right, that's anything else you want to say about the golf, and then
No, I mean Corey Connors would have won by 4 shots if he could putt.
that's what all my
It's-
homies were saying.
It's
man.
unbelievable how freaking good he is, and how he missed the putt from his Florida first day. Lucy would have made it.
It happens.
Um,
It happens.
It was just incredible. It really was. Like other than Tiger winning, it and obviously Tiger didn't play, but other than Tiger winning, that was the best thing that could have happened. And again, for the second time, Justin Rose, if you're a parent of an athletic child, and you ever want to teach your child how to deal with defeat, show them Justin Rose.
And is that easier because his career is fine? Like,
Well, it's
yes, he
easier
would have
because he's
loved to have
made
won the
$75
Masters,
million.
unquestionably,
It's easier because he's made
right,
$75
like
million.
He's
Yeah,
won
sure.
a slam. He's
If
won.
if
he's got
he
the,
were, I'm trying to think of an
a major-
aging journeyman who hasn't won.
This
and
was-
I'll
this
give you
was-
one.
yeah.
If he were Matt Kuchar,
Mhm.
he probably wouldn't have been
Mhm.
that
Mhm.
smiley.
Mhm.
But I also do think it is his nature a little bit. He really does get it. Air quotes like, hey man, I did the best I could do. I didn't win. He hit it to 2 feet on the first playoff. Won't beat me. I did everything I could have done.
Yep.
Could I have made another putt on Saturday? Sure, but so could he.
Yep.
Like that's the thing. I get this all the time coaching golf. Right, a kid will say, I shot 74. I lost by 2 shots. I missed 2 from a foot. I'm like, so did the other guy.
Mm-hmm.
The other guy did too.
Right.
The other guy's
Right.
at home saying, I
Right.
would have won by 4
Yeah,
if
I
I
had just made
wouldn't
a
have 3
putt,
putted
right,
from
yeah.
6 feet 2 times. Like so.
Yep.
It'll be very interesting to see what happens at Quail because that golf course opens itself up to a bunch of different potential winners.
All right, now.
How's the baseball team doing?
Yeah, yeah. How are they doing? It's a good question. Drew Forrester.
Are you ready to panic or no? I wrote about that today.
Yeah, it's funny
You
because
ready
I've
to panic?
kind of written about this a couple times. Panic. It'd be the wrong thing to say panic. My bigger issues aren't really with the day in day out of the team. My bigger
It's
issues
the fact
are
that your batting average is as good as Loriano's.
Yeah, I mean that's not great. My bigger issues really aren't even with Brandon Hyde. Like if they continue like this, then Brandon Hyde's going to be gone in June, right? Like that's obvious.
You think so?
If they continue like this,
You think so?
if they continue to play at a pace that's 4
with
games
what record? If they're 24-37,
then Brandon Hyde's got to be gone.
Really?
Like
Okay.
he's got to be gone.
Okay.
You don't really have a choice at that point.
he didn't sign Gary
That's-
Sanchez.
but that's the issue. The issue is
What was
I'm
with the
not,
lineup last night? Who made the lineup up? The PA announcer?
So this came up again yesterday.
I just don't
Mike Elias did a press conference yesterday. I don't know what the rhyme or reason is to when Mike Elias meets with reporters. Apparently he does it sporadically.
Yeah, I hear people aren't getting credentialed for these things.
Oh, that's what you heard. Huh?
That's just what the streets are saying.
And Mike Elias
right.
essentially said what I have been saying for some time.
What,
which
we
is-
play these stiffs to see
if you're-
as a joke?
If you're angry about Brandon Hyde's lineups, then you're angry at the entire structure of the Orioles. Brandon Hyde is not freewheeling these things. He's just not. Which doesn't mean that Mike Elias is setting the lineup and handing it to Brandon Hyde each night and saying, here's what you're going to play. It's that there is a general agreement amongst the leadership of the Orioles that this is what we're doing. We are playing right-handers against lefties. That's what we're doing.
If that, and I'm not saying if meaning that you're right or that you're wrong.
He basically told everybody.
No. So when I
yesterday.
say this, if that's the case, I'm really going to question Elias. If that's the case,
Well, I've got a lot of questions about Elias.
Gary
I do.
Sanchez stinks. Like, come on, man. This lineup last night was a joke. Just play these kids. Play them. I know Holiday's not off to a great start. He's still better than Mateo if he put his glove on the other hand. Just play these guys. I don't get it. I get the Sunday lineup where you got to insert some of these scrubs because they got to play and keep themselves oiled and somebody needs a rest. I get the Sunday lineup thing. The other team's throwing out a Sunday lineup too half the time. I get that. But there is zero excuse for that lineup last night. And if I don't even know who we're talking about now. Who are we talking about? Ryan O'Hearn not playing last night or Holiday? If they're not playing because they can't hit that pitcher because he throws from the other side, I don't know what to say to that.
So
I just don't get. I don't get it.
They're
They're Major League Baseball players.
There's a bigger issue here, which is I really don't have a problem with.
By the way, Westberg's not having a great start. Neither is Gunnar.
Facts.
Right.
All facts.
But you keep putting them in there, and you know why? Because they're good baseball players, and you got a better chance of winning with them in the lineup. I don't care if the guy throws underhanded.
Part of the tricky part is we don't really know if Jackson Holiday and Heston Kjerstad are good baseball
Well, let me
players.
say this too.
That's part of the issue.
I wrote about that today. These are the three things now. Forget the pitching issues. Forget those for a minute. Starting pitching issues. These three things. 16 games into the season. I don't know on a 1 to 10 what your level of concern would be for these three.
Right.
Rutschman's slash is terrible. 237, 288, 329. His start is not good. Batista has been okay, but he certainly hasn't been lights out. And Holiday is.
But none of those are my biggest concerns.
No, I didn't say biggest concerns.
Okay.
I said they are concerns.
Yeah. Okay.
Because for you to be competitive, those three guys have to have better years than they did a year ago. Now Batista,
by default,
will, but he has to. Well, here's what I wrote: Rutschman has to become Rutschman again. Batista has to become Batista again. Holiday has to become Holiday. And if those three guys don't do that, they're in big trouble. They're not winning if those three guys don't fulfill that statement. They're just not. They're in big trouble if those three guys don't come through. Those are huge, huge components of the team, in my opinion. And Holiday would be the chief concern among all of those to me. He was the first freaking pick in the draft. He looks like Adam Frazier.
Yeah, but he's 21
With all
years
due
old.
respect,
Like, that's where I'm not.
I hear you, but that's neither here nor there.
I get the point of taking Jackson Holiday where you did is that he was supposed to be better than this when he was 21 years old. Like,
right away.
I understand that.
We thought we were getting Bobby Witt. We got Adam Frazier.
But it's a far different. Charlie Morton and Dean Kramer are my concerns because
totally,
they are what they are.
I get it.
And
but
you have
but
to
they're
keep
only
pitching
pitching
them.
once every 5 days.
I understand that, but you don't have better options. Like they're going to have to keep pitching.
Isn't Angus Young coming up or some young guy coming up?
Young, right? He's gonna. But you need that because you need a fifth starter at the moment. You have to keep. There we go. You have to keep pitching those guys. Jackson Holiday, I think, could still
in a
be.
former life, by the way, I would have joined the National Guard.
Oh yeah,
I said
what
something
does
to
that do?
Ethan
What
yesterday.
does that do for anybody?
It's very honorable.
You don't know that?
I did say that to Ethan the other
Do you know
day.
that I tried joining the reserves
really?
a couple years ago?
I told Ethan he should join the National Guard.
Yeah,
I
of
said
course, absolutely.
you would have it would be a wonderful fulfillment for your
It's like
life.
all these lacrosse players around here that go to Navy. Like, it's exactly what you should do. That's exactly what all of these lacrosse
Correct.
players around here
We have a
should do.
golfer or two
You have a chance
every
to
year in
play-
the MIAA
Yeah.
who goes to Navy.
You have a chance to play at a very high level, and you get your school paid for. Unlike if you go to,
And have you seen the girls in
Lehigh.
Annapolis?
I have noticed it's a nice place to be. I have noticed that. Like I think there's
Or the
reason-
guys in
I
some
still
cases.
have every reason to believe that Jackson Holiday is going to be a better baseball player as the season goes on. I have no reason to think that Dean Kramer is going to suddenly turn into a high-level Major League Baseball pitcher. We have done it for years. He's not that guy. Like, he's just not. I still think it's possible. To your point, if he doesn't, they got big problems. Big
But
problems.
Morton's more of a concern than Kramer.
Well,
'cause
Morton can't.
Kramer will have a decent start once every
Kramer
three.
will have 6 really good starts really good.
More than that.
He'll have more.
Depends on what your definition of
really good, he's going to have 6. Quality, he'll end up having 8 to 9, right? Like, he'll end up having,
10.
Maybe not. Like, I mean,
Smells like a bet.
actual quality. Do you realize how difficult it is to have a quality start in Major?
Yeah, what is quality start?
Yeah,
6 innings?
6 innings,
3
3
earned runs or less.
I don't think there's a chance in hell. I'll take that bet.
What's
every
the
day.
number?
You just said 10.
Yeah, well, we got to redo it. What's now that we got a
Yeah,
bet?
yeah,
Well,
right.
now that we got a bet,
Now that you actually
What's the number?
has-
8.5?
He's out here just throwing. I'd still probably take you up on 8.5.
done.
You still
Let's
owe
make
us
it 7.
You still no.
Make it
No.
7.5.
I said I'd take you up on 8.5.
By the way, last night,
You still owe us a Chinese lunch.
if Mitchkoff for the Flyers scores a goal last night, Drew's not here. But instead, the Flyers got effing shut out, which, by the way,
Isn't that
is
on you?
totally my
Yeah,
fault
isn't that on
for
you?
betting on a Flyers player.
I don't know what we're doing.
I had 5 goal scorers last night.
Yeah.
4 of them scored. And all I needed was this ass clown to score 1 goal for me. I don't care if they lose 8-1. I just needed Mitchkoff to score a goal for me. I went 4 for 4 right out of the gate.
I had Gunnar to hit a home run last night, and he missed that one by 2 feet.
Oh,
yeah.
I had
They're
Pasternak,
bad.
Geeky, Nosen, and Strome to score. They all scored in the first
Why are you betting on
hour.
Bruins players?
And then because you're trying to bet on goal
1-800-GAMBLER, helpmygamblingproblem.org if you are a loved one.
Just needed that
Or
guy
a-
to
or
score.
a
Bruins
loved
scored.
one.
I mean, I guess they scored.
You know what the really
you're right,
popular
but-
bet is right now is
Oh? What's the really popular?
and it hasn't hit yet, but when it hits, it's going to be well worth it. 2 homers in the same game, Ohtani and Judge, same night, same game.
Okay.
10
both
to-
of
10
both of them
10 to
hitting,
win like 700.
both of them hitting 2 home runs.
10 to win 700.
Okay. All right.
Just keep putting 10 on it until you don't have any money left.
Right. Until you're broke. I get it.
You only got to put 10 on it every night.
My bigger problem is definitely I have a way bigger problem with Elias. The Hyde thing is going to solve itself. Either they're going to start winning or he's going to be gone. Like that's
And then who we getting?
whoever.
Right.
You know, that's the reality. Buck Britton will be the manager until the end of the season,
Right.
and then they'll go from there.
Right.
Or Trinos.
But- What's that?
Or Trinos.
Right. Yeah, it might. By the way, it might very well be Robinson Chirinos. Truly. But that's going to solve itself.
He ought to be catching.
They're gonna start winning,
Let him
or
play instead of Sanchez.
they're going to have a new manager. That's the way it's going to go. The Elias thing is a far bigger problem because it's the thing I keep saying for the last week. You tell me right now, based on everything that you've seen, what the Orioles' plan is as an organization.
Well,
Because I understood it during the rebuild. The rebuild made sense. But the point of the
so
rebuild,
your point now is why are we not?
nothing. There's nothing.
But what? Give me 3 things you want them to do. Give me 3 things.
Any of the above.
Okay, go ahead.
Extend someone.
Okay.
Spend money on an outside baseball player,
Okay.
or say, we're not trying to win a World Series and start trading these guys when they have their highest value, which nobody wants them to do, but it's better
But
than
who-
doing
who-
what you did with Manny Machado.
Okay, but who would those guys be?
Gunnar Henderson.
No, I'm saying trading.
Yes.
Oh,
I'm saying if you're not going to try to win a World Series, if you're
Gunner's
saying
got 3 years left.
for at least 3, well, do you count this year or not?
Yeah. Well, I'm saying this is Gunner's 3rd year of service or 2nd.
It's his 3rd year
It's his 3rd year of service.
of service, correct.
So he's got
His first year of arbitration eligibility
Is
is
next
next year,
year.
so he has 3
3, yeah.
after this year.
Right. And
What I'm
Rutschman has
saying
2.
is, if your plan,
I don't know that many teams
there
would take
has to
Rutschman.
be a plan. There has to be a. This is what we're trying to do.
Okay.
We think.
But why does that? Why does extending Gunnar? What does that do?
Well, it's acknowledging.
now?
It's acknowledging that
it's
you're going
just
to spend
cosmetic.
It's not just cosmetic. It's acknowledging you're gonna spend money on baseball players.
Okay.
You're going to. This
Look,
is,
I'm not against extending him,
right.
but I'm just wondering why that's so important
To
right
make
now.
people want to play here, knowing that I'm going to be playing alongside Gunnar Henderson for
Okay.
5 years.
There's a lot of reasons to do it, but the biggest reason to do it is
I'm all for it.
It's the thing I said once upon a time about everybody was up in arms about how much they paid Chris Davis. The problem wasn't that they paid Chris Davis. You're going to give way bad contracts. The problem is that you only
the
paid
problem is
Chris
that
Davis.
stopped them from doing anything
That's
else
the point.
for 5 years.
The point is, if you only ever give one contract away, then it doesn't matter who you're giving it away to. You can't win only spending money on one baseball player and identifying that's the one guy. If you pay Gunnar Henderson, the idea is that you're announcing we're going to pay baseball players and we're going to try. But in the moment, what is the plan? There's no way that you can make heads or tails of they offered the highest AAV value contract to a pitcher of all time, and then when that didn't work out, their backup plan was Charlie Morton. Like that, how do you make sense? How do you reconcile this? I can't.
And I mean, obviously, I'm with you. I am. I mean, I'm with you. I'm trying to look right now to see who's available in this off season already.
Yeah,
I'm with you. I do think that there are. I hate to say this, man, because people are going to, people freak out, right? There is no evidence in place yet, to suggest that this ownership group is really any different than the former ownership group. There's no evidence in place to support that.
Not in the terms that you're talking about.
Well, there isn't.
But even the little, they just connecting with humans, there is. Right?
Okay, but
functionality.
I'm going to say this, and I'm not trying to be a prick.
Right.
I don't care about that.
I understand.
I want the team to get better.
I understand. In what I'm saying is in that context, yes, of course, 100% right. It's not quite that cut and dry, but yes, I agree with you based on the context.
There's nothing they've done yet.
Mm-hmm.
Notwithstanding the owner going out there and doing jumping jacks with the fans and squirting people off.
I would say that I don't think that the last ownership group ever did anything like trading for Corbin Burns, but I get it, right? Like I do get it.
But they traded for Corbin Burns because he was cheap.
Right, I understand that. But they still didn't even do that.
Here's the funny thing, right? Like field-wise, position-wise, I don't even know that we need anything. Position-wise, we're set. Catcher. If we moved Mountcastle and O'Hearn on and got a real first baseman like Gavin Sheets, we'd be fine.
Right, like Gavin.
He's hitting 3-something. No, if we got rid of those two,
I love him.
If we got rid of those two and got a real first baseman, no problem, right? We're set at second. We're set at short. We're set at third. We are apparently set in left field. Mullins, I still think, is serviceable. Might be in the October of his career.
I would go the other way with Mullins, which is Mullins is the guy they should try to keep around for 3 more years.
Okay. Well, you're making my point.
Yeah.
We'll wait and see on O'Neill. Jury's still out, but we'll wait and see. What they need, right, is somebody from this list. And I'm just naming them. Please don't.
Mm-hmm.
Dylan Cease, Zach Gallen, Framber Valdez. That might be it.
Well, they really need two.
Okay, but I mean, Zach Eflin's a free agent after this year.
Yes.
Bassett, Bueller. We'll pass on Cortez. As I'm just looking through here, Giolito, no thanks.
You don't like the idea of a nasty nester in Baltimore?
Kenta Maeda, no. Yeah, we already had one of those. Kenta Maeda, Charlie Morton, free, no thanks. Maybe we'll sign him again. Alex Cobb, no, we're good. Anyway, here's the problem. I just read you those names.
Right.
There's 3 good ones. Cease, Gallen, and Valdez.
And you're going to talk yourself out of why you can't sign like this. This is
don't forget, there are 28 other teams that might want
correct. They want them. But this is the issue. The Orioles put themselves in this position because they didn't draft and develop pitchers. They did
I get
this. Your philosophy, Mike Elias's philosophy of the drafting pitchers that high, they're too volatile. There's too much risk involved.
John Means is a club option next year.
I would have taken John Means back this year.
Oh, you're insane.
I would have just kept trying to. You don't have any. You're throwing out Charlie Morton.
Hey, he pitched 5 innings last night.
He technically got him through 5 innings.
Do you consider that start last night terrible?
Yeah.
Yes.
You do? You do.
I mean,
do you consider it terrible?
Context is really difficult here.
I said today it wasn't terrible.
Could there be worse starts? Yes, there could be worse.
Yeah,
I guess
9 runs in 1 inning. I
Yeah,
guess.
like-
I just didn't think that was terrible.
But like the difference between you're trying to quantify the difference between terrible and not good enough. And like if the defense of it is not good enough, I'm not defending it. Like it's not good enough. Plain and simple. It's not good enough. And there's nothing that I've seen from Charlie Morton that suggests that he is good enough. The one start he struck out 10 guys, but that's not been like, hey, either it's getting hit really hard, he's getting really hit hard, or striking guys out. That's the one game where he struck guys out.
How on earth did he strike 10 guys
It's
out?
amazing.
It's like Eddie Harris. I keep comparing him to Eddie Harris from Major League. I got
No,
one more
Skip,
in it. I got one more in it, and my arm feels like jelly, but I got one more in it.
No, you don't.
And he's going in and spitting on the ball.
Okay.
I got grease ball for him. That's Charlie Morton. He struck out 10 guys in one game.
He just looks like Craig Kimbrell. It's just over. It's just over.
Yeah,
Like,
without the
it's-
man bun.
Yeah,
I mean, you can explain
sure.
Craig
Well,
Kimbrell
Dean
falling
Kramer
apart.
Got it. Right.
And that,
Yeah, there you go.
you know what I'm going to
There you
say.
go. That's the.
Go ahead and say it.
No, you can say it. It's fine.
No, say it.
What?
Just say it. Show me a great baseball player
You work
who's
on that.
been great with a man bun.
You work on that.
It doesn't freaking
You
work.
get to the bottom of that. This is going to be like the attractive mom thing.
Do it.
And,
Show me one great baseball player who's prospered with a man bun. Cut your freaking hair like a man.
Didn't Johnny Damon do it for a minute? Didn't he try the man bun for a bit? Am I wrong
Maybe.
about that? I thought he might have at one point.
Harper
in
did
his-
it shortly, I think.
Let me say
Yeah,
this.
yeah, Harper did do it. For a
Let me
minute.
say this in fairness to Johnny Damon.
Granky, although he's
It was a
kinda
good
weird.
look on him.
Right. Yeah, for him. Looks great on you though.
It made Johnny look pretty good.
My bigger issue is just
When's
not.
football season start?
Yeah, right.
Are we doing a draft preview or not?
Yeah, you want.
Let's go.
They did their press conference yesterday. You want to do a quick recap of it?
Yeah.
Here we go. Nothing. All right. Very good. That's what we learned. From the
Are the
Ravens.
Steelers going to get Sanders? I haven't followed it enough. Is
That's
there a chance they're
the
getting
new
him?
hot thing is everybody pushing the idea that Shador is going to fall really far. Which, if he does, then yeah, obviously it could be the Steelers.
Do you care about that? I not care. Are you worried about him as
I
a
would dramatically prefer they don't get Shador.
really?
Sanders
You think
than
he's
that
going to
they
be a good?
do. I just don't want them to get anybody that might. I don't know if Shador Sanders is going to be a really good NFL quarterback, but I know he's a better option than what they're going to try throwing out there. I would. This is the.
And what will he be as an NFL quarterback? Michael Vick?
I don't think he can be Michael Vick. Michael Vick was
I don't mean.
MVP
I
caliber.
don't mean. Yeah, I don't mean in terms of. I meant in terms of style.
No.
He's better than he's better than that style.
I mean, Michael Vick. This is the problem. We all think of Michael Vick as being like the first, run first quarterback. But
Tell you what, you would
He
want to
could-
get in a dogfight with him.
all right, there we go. Drew Forrester, Drew'sMorningDish.com. I can't believe you got me off of Mike Elias. I can't believe I was
Oh,
doing the whole thing
beating
about
him up.
Mike Elias.
Just beating him up for.
and you were just like,
went to the
"Yeah,
draft.
I'm
Let's go to the
spent.
draft."
I'm spent. I'm out."
Let's go to the draft.
I
Why
don't
were you
have it
beating
in
up
me
Charlie
anymore.
Morton, and it felt like you were beating me up.
Right. Just because you're old. You just started to feel for him.
It felt like you were
Drew,
kind of taking a shot.
for the first time in his life, he's like, "Is this empathy?
Yeah, you're-
like, is this?"
You're taking a shot at
People,
me.
everybody keeps talking to me about
Charlie
this
and
empathy thing.
Charlie and I are kind of kindred spirits. We both go to bed at 9:30.
Enjoy a nice 4:00 dinner.
We both eat pudding at 4:30, and around 9:30, I go, okay, I'm gonna go get tucked in now.
Charlie Morton is actually my age. Like, we're actually the same age.
Are you really 41?
I'm 41.
Are you really?
Yes.
Holy hell!
Yeah. Actually. Yeah, how old are you?
Oh, my
Yeah,
God.
Let's not talk about that.
48, I think. Oh my
That's how
gosh!
that works. Yeah. We are actually the same age.
Have
We are
you felt
actually
old in your
contemporary.
life yet?
Yeah. I have.
Honestly, have you really?
100%.
You've said something like, "Damn, man, I
Mm-hmm.
feel different than."
But
Wait till you're 55.
Right. The only times it's the waking up and just being sore and there being no reason for it whatsoever. Like those are the types of things
Right.
that make me feel. And then Stuff, the stuff where like right now, if you asked me what the top 10 songs were in the country,
Holy hell! I couldn't
Yeah.
tell you what the number one song's been in 10 years.
like how long would it? Those are the types of things. Like how far?
Square Dance by
You want to play that game?
Square Dance by Eminem.
I don't think so. I don't think
That's not-
I don't
that's not
think
one of
it's
them.
in the top.
Okay.
Like I don't know how deep into the top
I'm 28. They're gonna take you for they take me.
100 you'd have to go before I'd recognize the
You
song.
can get number 1, I think.
Right now?
Yeah.
It's a number
Dude,
one
I haven't listened to
song
the
in
radio in
country.
10 years.
Oh, is it still
California Girls by
Kendrick Lamar?
Katy
Yes.
Perry.
It's
So
been 20
Luther.
weeks. Yep, Luther.
What happened with Katy
Luther's
Perry,
number
by the way, this week? She go up in space or something?
She took a 5-minute ride in space.
Is that real? I don't know.
Yes,
Yeah.
that was real.
She really did.
Yes, she really did do that.
Well, it's like her and a bunch of other people.
Well, okay, but wait a
Yeah,
minute.
I mean-
How?
It's a tourism thing. they
This
do
is how
now.
out of touch I am.
It's sort of like the thing
Where-
with the Titanic.
but
It's
how
great
did
for
she?
the environment, I'm sure.
But how did she do it? You know-
there is a company
Okay.
that does tourist flights to the edge of space.
Okay.
You don't
In
go to
what?
the moon
In what?
in something that's similar to a rocket. Like,
Okay. You go up there for how long?
For the whole thing lasts 12 minutes. You're actually in space, like you're in weightless.
I was going to make a comment about
Yeah, there we go.
Margaret,
Yeah,
but
right.
I was going to make a comment.
She's like, you can go that long.
I was going to make
Yeah,
a comment about Margaret in
100%,
12
yeah,
minutes, but
yeah.
I'll leave it alone.
No.
Go ahead. You did set yours. The old Drew would have pounced on that.
I'm with you.
The new Drew, it's Holy Week.
Yeah,
It's-
it's Holy Week. That's
It's
a great
Holy
point.
Week. I'm leaving that one
To be
alone.
fair, though, we're also in our 40s.
Correct.
After
Tw-
5
actually,
after 5 minutes, we're just like
Actually,
can
12
we-
minutes.
Can we get on?
If
with it?
it's
12 minutes,
if it's a
is
consistent 12 minutes, that's pretty good.
I don't think we'd want
Yeah,
12 minutes.
Anyway, go ahead.
I think she'd
It's
start
Holy
looking
Week.
at her watch.
It's
in
Holy
about the
Week.
8
Let's get
minutes.
away from this.
Thank you.
But they went up and came back down, and no one was afraid of dying like those people did in that.
See, that's okay. There's two things.
Like, I'm not doing
right?
that if I might die.
Okay, here's
I'm
what
just not.
there's been a
And
lot
why
of
Katy Perry?
There's been a lot of internet mockery of this.
Okay.
Right? Because like after she got back, Katy Perry kissed the ground or whatever. And everybody's made fun of her. She was in space for 3 minutes, right? And she kissed the
I
ground.
never make fun of Katy Perry.
Well, first of all, thank you.
Personally.
Agreed.
Personally.
We agree on that subject.
Correct.
But second of all,
If you see that California Girls video,
half of the people that are mocking them would never jump out of an airplane, right? They just wouldn't. They would say, nah, no thanks, I'm good. It's just fun to mock people on the internet. That's all we're
well,
doing.
sure.
It's fun to mock people.
That's what they do with the president.
Yeah, correct. All this guy's doing
It's
is
all
trying
Saturday Night Live
all
does.
he's trying to do is make America great.
And all Saturday Night Live does
here
is
we
make
are
fun of
making
him.
fun of him. Unbelievable.
Right.
Yeah, this poor fella.
Not even taking a salary.
Yeah, correct.
Got his weight down to 224.
He's killing it. He's killing it. I don't know why the Ravens wouldn't draft him. The point.
If he weighs 224.
I know. True. I'm
Oh my God.
quite aware. 220. It's what a hilarious number. Like they didn't even try to go with a number that people might be like, well, maybe.
Like they
Yeah.
did before.
Right.
239.
Yeah, but nobody actually believed that either.
That's my
but
point.
Yeah.
You're telling me he's 15 pounds lighter?
Yeah. Then we never believed it the first time.
Maybe that's because part of his ear's off.
Maybe. Oh yeah, that's a good point. I didn't think about
Right.
that's 15 pounds right
Right,
there.
right.
Just walking around with that. So
How about what
everybody's
Joe Rogan said to him? When Joe said,
we've
"Yeah,
reached
your
this part of the
ear, your ear looks pretty good, by the
Oh
way."
yeah, that's what he said. People, it's easy to mock.
Got
Katy
great
Perry.
doctors. These
Thank
doctors
you.
are
Thank you.
unbelievable.
It's easy to
They're
mock Katy
unbelievable
Perry, make
doctors.
fun of the whole thing, but you're not gonna get me to do it. Like,
You think she went up in space and came back and
and legitimately felt like some fear while she was up there. Like you're in space.
have you ever gone? This is somewhat germane. Have you ever gone out to sea on a boat? Well, you've been on a cruise, right?
Yes, I have.
You've been on a cruise.
Yes.
I went 100 miles into the ocean
Mm-hmm.
on a boat to fish,
Mhm.
to go along to fish. I didn't. I acted like I was fishing, but I wasn't really fishing.
Yeah.
We got about 6 miles out,
Mm-hmm.
and I
Yeah, you
started to shake.
right.
And I said, "Where's the land?"
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh, you won't see that again. Don't worry,
Yeah.
for 12 hours." I'm like, "Is there any
Yeah,
way?
what if something goes
Is there
wrong
any way
here?
I could go back?"
Right.
He's like, "No, we're
We're going out to fish. That's what we're doing today. 100%. What
we
if something
went
goes
from
wrong?
here to Salisbury
Yeah.
in the freaking ocean.
Yeah.
It took us 2.5 hours to get out there.
Yeah.
I've never felt more panicked in my life.
I couldn't. The night before I jumped out of an airplane,
It was insane.
I did not sleep. And some people say that like they have roughs. I didn't sleep. I hadn't had a panic attack.
because you were
all I
just
could think-
afraid I'm the guy.
how,
the one.
Or how am I going to screw it up? Because I don't know what I'm doing.
I'm the one. Right.
Because I've never done this before. Because they don't really tell you anything, like until you get there. Like
You
once
just
you
jump
get there,
out
they
and pull
go
that
over-
thing, and you'll be
Right,
fine.
yeah, like, how am I gonna screw this up for everybody?
How long do you go before you pull it?
Not that long.
30 seconds?
A minute, maybe. Like maybe a minute.
Hold on.
I don't. In fairness, I don't. It all feel like
Okay, well, hold on. You jump out of a plane and you're
just falling. You're just falling.
There's a
I
video.
took-
Travis Pastrana jumped out with no parachute of a plane because he was waiting for somebody to like grab him and then. And
Oh,
that's-
because they
yeah,
do
yeah.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. You just jump out. Like and then you're just falling. And then I did it with the Army folks, so they were like, recording. They had a camera and they're like trying to get me a wave, and I'm just like, dude,
my throat's dry
yeah,
just talking about it.
right. And so you want to make fun of Katy Perry? Fine, make fun of Katy Perry.
You better not make fun of
But
Katy Perry.
I do agree with that. But you're a clown. Like there's actual fear there. Now, do I think that they did something great for humanity? No, I don't think that they accomplished something significant for humanity by taking a ride in a rocket. But I absolutely understand why you felt fear, because every single one of us that think we're fearless have gone through the same thing when we jumped out of an airplane. Christ.
So speaking of Katy Perry,
Where are you with the
this
guy?
is- hold on.
Where
This
are you
is
with
my Katy Perry story. Now, it's funny.
It's 10:46.
6 years ago, I'm playing in a member guest at my club with my buddy Dale Williams, and we're on the 12th hole. It's backed up, and we're just, we've had a couple cocktails. It's the Friday of the member guest, and we're watching various YouTube videos, music videos, and we put Katy Perry on, California Girls, and we're both making all kinds of comments we shouldn't make. And we had a member at our club who was gay, or is gay, who is, great guy. Everybody knows he's gay. It's fine. He's got a partner. It's no problem. He comes wandering over. He goes, "What are you two looking at?" And we showed him the video, and he goes, "I'm making the switch." He said, I'm making the switch. Holy cow. I'm like, yeah, you see what you've been missing? So, anyway, that was my Katy Perry story.
You ever look up Carroll County Boys?
What?
Yeah, when that song was like popular, there was some guy from Carroll County who made a parody to it called Carroll County
Anyway,
Boys.
where do I stand on
It was
what?
pretty good.
Where are you with the Braves broadcaster?
Oh.
Where are you with that? I mean, I know.
You know what? It's kind of borderline something you would do.
It's absolutely something
Yeah.
I would do. And by the way,
for fun.
I would go be a step beyond that. I've done something like this.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was the
I don't think it was.
in 2000.
I don't think it was as big of a deal as.
Actually,
he didn't get canned, did he?
No, of course he didn't get canned.
Okay.
In fact, right before I came back home, there was an arena football team in Phoenix.
Yeah, you should be careful with these stories because I can remember
I know.
a couple visitors.
Settle down.
I can remember a
Settle
couple
down.
visitors that came by the radio station. I'm like, "Where'd Glenn go?
Yeah. What are you talking
We
about?
got to take a break."
What are you talking about? The Arizona Rattlers were the
Okay.
arena football. They were actually very popular out there,
Okay.
right? Like they did incredibly well in Phoenix.
Did you ever see a rattlesnake?
I did. Yeah, I saw a couple actually.
Scorpions, tarantulas.
Did you
I
really?
didn't see. There was one. The
There was
crazy
a
one
snake
is
at Eagle's Nest. the other day.
Gila monster. Look that up.
What?
You
No,
saw a
I'm not looking
rattlesnake?
that up.
Yeah,
I'm not
absolutely.
looking at Gila monster.
100%. I mean, but they didn't it wasn't in my house.
No.
Yeah.
But there was one at Eagle's Nest the other day. Not a rattlesnake.
So the Arizona Rattlers
I'm not a big snake guy.
wanted to put the broadcasts on the 98 Rock of
I
Phoenix.
think you've told this story
Right.
before, but go ahead.
It was called 98 KUPD,
She
and
was
they were
heavy set.
That's exactly.
You tell them.
You remember it well. You remember it well. And the deal was like, okay, we'll do it, but we're not doing just a game, bro. Like we're
Yeah,
not doing that. It's arena
no
football.
one cares about arena
we're-
football.
We're not
We're gonna-
doing that. But if you'll let us do a talk, we'll turn
Right.
it into a show,
Right.
and we'll have the morning show hosts be the play-by-play people,
Right.
and then we'll
Now
have,
look where you've
we'll have-
risen to. You were
we'll
doing
have
high school
Glenn-
lacrosse yesterday.
Yeah, right. Correct. Killing it. We'll have Glenn be the sports person on the broadcast, right?
Right.
And so they told me that I was the sideline reporter. We did the show from a bar in
Right.
the arena.
Right.
Like we just went up from a bar. They did an annual before Mother's Day. They did a MILF pageant on the morning show. They did a
Kind of milk pageant. I don't know.
MILF. They did a Arizona's hottest MILF contest or whatever, and they crowned, and then they did a calendar. It was that era of radio.
I'm looking MILF up online to see what
and
it
so
means.
we had a game the
Oh,
night. Yeah, right. We had a game the night before Mother's Day. You had a T-shirt that you would wear everywhere saying "I love hot moms."
That's because my wife was pregnant.
yeah. So That's the reason. So
Well, it did coincide with
it did
that.
happen. The night before the game, they brought all of the contestants from the MILF pageant to the bar where we were doing the broadcast.
What happened to these days, by the way?
Right. And so they had the winner did an interview during the game with us, right? Like the winner of the MILF pageant.
Oh, my God.
And as you would imagine,
And 21-year-old Glenn's like,
Yeah.
I like older women.
yeah, after
You're not a cougar, are you?
after like a question, not a whole lot left. There's not
Right.
a whole
Yeah,
lot
right,
more
right. How
to
does
do.
it feel?
Right. You
How does it
congratulations.
feel to be oogled at
you,
by...
you won the MILF pageant.
What's this do for you?
Right.
What do you think this does for your
Where do you go
career?
next?
Could you win it? Could you win it back-to-back years?
Right. Not
Have you
exactly.
thought about the Southwest MILF pageant?
So
Could you win that one
yeah,
too?
being in where I was in my career,
Which was where?
22 broke.
Right.
Said, and I would always do it this way. I'd be like, hi, Kristen, or whatever the hell her name is. Hi, Kristen. Glenn Clark down here on the sidelines. They'd like look over, and I'm sitting right next to them. And they'd be like,
Oh,
huh? Glenn Clark down here on the
I'll
sidelines.
explain it to you when we're done.
Yeah, right. Was just
Play
wondering,
along.
would you be more comfortable if you did the rest of the game sitting on my lap? That was my question, right? And it was perfect for the 98 Rock.
I love that. That's
thing,
a great line.
right?
Yeah.
And of course, her answer was yes.
Sure, right,
Like
sure,
obviously,
right.
I would rather.
Well,
do
she's
that.
going to be on the radio. She's a star.
Right now, it's a whole thing. Now, it ended up being a whole thing, and it ended up being really uncomfortable because I had a girlfriend, and it was it didn't go over well.
Right.
Let's just say.
But
to say the
honey,
least.
it's just part of the
that was what I was trying to explain. Was this is how radio works? Is you do things like this, but then
I didn't mean anything about it, and
Then-
she gave me her number, but I'm
yes,
not calling her.
Then maybe the fourth time she called me, the girlfriend
Right.
at the time was not thrilled about it.
Right. Well,
But the moral of the story being, it was part of the bit.
moral story is you're a goof.
And as I've said, if she was uncomfortable, then we wouldn't have done it, right?
Right,
Like,
sure.
We wouldn't have done
Oh,
anything
yeah. I mean, you
along
weren't
those
going to
lines.
force it on her.
So if you haven't seen this
Probably.
clip, you have it, I'm assuming.
All right, go ahead.
This is from the Braves are playing in Toronto. They sent
FanDuel Sports Network.
Yeah, they sent their reporter. His name is Wiley Ballard. I wanna
Coyote.
say. I don't think it's
something.
Coyote.
They say it, I think.
They send
He
him.
doesn't have a hair on his rear end, by the way, for not changing his name.
They do some of the stuff that like we've seen in broadcasts all the time. Hey, we're on the road. Let's go check out something about.
Sure.
Wiley
Send,
Ballard, yeah.
send the guy out to slide down the slide in Milwaukee. Send
Right.
the
Go have a
whatever
crab
it is.
cake.
Right,
Right.
100%.
See if you can throw faster than Charlie Morton.
They send him up to the bar. Here's how it plays out.
We're having a lot of fun up here up the Corona rooftop. Who do we got here? What's your name?
My name's Lauren.
Lawrence, all right.
And I'm Kayla.
Kayla, and you guys hang out at the rooftop lounge often?
Once a year I come out to visit.
Okay, well, we timed it pretty well. All right, good. How are you guys feeling about rooting for the Braves today?
Oof, I don't know. I'm hoping for the best.
What about you? Are you a Braves fan now?
Not quite.
Not quite. All right, I'm gonna go to work up here, guys. Good luck the rest of the way.
Okay, Wiley. You got 4 innings to get the numbers.
I'm on it. I'm on it.
Get us some more Braves fans.
All right, so they want me to get your number.
They want you to get my
I'm dead serious. They're saying in my ear right now. She doesn't believe me because she thinks you guys are not. I'm making this up. Even if you guys weren't, I might use that in the future. That's actually a pretty good move.
This is unbelievable.
So the best part of this right now is that Wiley could totally be faking it. This might be the new move. Just walk around with a FanDuel microphone and an earpiece
How old is this kid, by the
and
way?
convince
He
fans
looked
that
like he
they're
was
on
in his
TV.
mid to late
should've thought of this.
20s,
Yeah.
maybe somehow early 30s. I don't
If you're 27 years old,
And
you're doing-
I got the number.
What-
We're good.
got the number, good.
Right.
If you're 27 years old and you're doing, I'm going to speak in relative terms, big-time sports television like this kid is, and you don't do that, there's something wrong with you.
So I don't. I don't.
Come on.
I don't know that it requires
It was a
you
nothing
to.
burger.
It appears as though he graduated from Georgia Tech in 2017, so that was 8 years ago.
25. I mean, 30.
Yeah, he's
It's
somewhere
this
around
is
30.
a nothing burger.
This is the I'm trying to contextualize it take by take, right? Because there's a few different takes that have.
I mean, we had a
flown
play-by-play guy who drank during the game.
around. Had a few. I think there might still be some that do.
Well-
I mean, I'm not certain that Al Michaels doesn't. It's like,
Those were the days, though, with the
oh, I know.
Oh.
I know.
by the 6th inning, if it was 7-1,
Just go right ahead.
done.
Yep.
He and Palmer start swapping stories.
100%. So let me cover a couple of things in the response to this. One of the responses is this is wildly unprofessional from a reporter. And what I would say is, I don't know that Wiley Ballard is a reporter. If Wiley Ballard is the guy,
he's a roaming microphone.
If he's expected to be the guy that asks the hard-hitting questions,
Dan Kolko would do that.
I would think so. Yes, I would think so.
For sure.
I don't know.
He's a good man, by the way.
Dan. I wonder if he's going to get the job. Bob Carpenter's retiring.
You would do that.
Today? Yeah, probably still.
Of course.
If I was in that role. But that's the what role am I in?
I'm 30 years old. It's April the 10th. I'm in Toronto.
That job.
These two hot girls are here. Like
that job
we're in
is
town for 2 more days.
That job is a different job than your reporter.
Correct. If those girls somehow were brought into the booth as part of the Molson fan of the game and the color analyst hit on them like that, that might be Bush League.
Yeah, I would agree.
If Ben McDonald, and I'm just using Ben McDonald as an example, if Ben McDonald did that on the air to the two girls who got brought in.
Yeah, it would be probably particularly problematic for Ben McDonald, yes. It would be particularly
Well, I just use him as an example.
I get it.
If the color analyst during the game hit on those two girls like that, maybe that's a little over the line. But this dude's just rolling around with a microphone trying to have fun.
And that's the new era of broadcasting that people are struggling with, because it might very well be that
this
we say
like the Orioles getting mad because Kevin Brown made a comment about the fans' credit card.
Right.
This is stupid.
But
you're out there in the middle of the outfield.
Let me go a step beyond, because there is a relevant point to be made here, right? There is one. The relevant point that's being made, but it's being missed.
Does that have something to do with Katy Perry?
Not quite.
Okay.
The relevant point that's being made by females in this business is this is the stop. Don't make yourself look foolish here, because I'm gonna make the point, and I'm gonna make it correctly, and you can just wait for that. All right. The relevant point that's being made by females is that there's a double standard, that they could never do something like this, and they might be right about that. But the problem is not that Wiley Ballard's doing it. The problem would be that there's an expectation that a female couldn't. Because to be abundantly clear, there should be no problem if this is your role with a female doing the same thing with two males. If it's your role. If your job is to be a hard-hitting reporter, ask the tough questions, be the one who's trying to figure out, hey, what are we doing with the $600 million that the state has spent on the stadium? Then you're right. You shouldn't be doing this type of stuff. It appears quite clear that's not Wiley Ballard's role. Now, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I have that all. I'm amiss. But in doing the little bit of research that I did, it doesn't appear as though that's Wiley Ballard's role. If a female...
So if Amber Theo Harris would have done this...
But I think Amber Theo Harris thinks herself a high-level broadcaster that wouldn't do something like this.
100%.
Right.
Had she been in this role and done that, right? You're saying from the hypocritical standpoint of she gets raked over the coals for that, while we giggle about it with this guy.
And she would 100% be right. She would be right.
But I also agree. I don't disagree with any of this. I do think it gets looked at differently, only through the purview of what you expect of them, right? This goes back to your whole thing about what is your role. If they said, I just use Amber because she's the first one that comes to my mind. Obviously, this is 15 years ago. If they just said to Amber Theo Harris in 2010, roam around the stadium, talk to people who've had too much to drink. Hey, if you happen to catch up with a cute guy and you want to flirt with him on the air, might make for fun TV. And Amber would have said, "Oh, okay,
maybe," or she might have said, "No, I don't want that to be."
And if she said, "No, I don't want to do that," then
okay.
that ends it.
Then that's it.
Yeah,
that's it. That's the end.
I agree with that.
And by the way, if that's what Wiley Ballard said, I have
that was very authentic.
I have big plans. I have some things that I want to do, and I would rather not be the guy that's flirting with women on television.
And by the way, it didn't impact Brent Musburger.
Yeah, he seemed to be okay. This is the part that's kind
Look
of
at those two.
Like what's been missed a little bit in the Me Too movement is it's about consent. Like that's what this is about. You can whatever you're comfortable with, be comfortable with. If that woman didn't want to participate in that and Wiley Ballard still kept pushing it, Come on,
Then that's not cool.
Come on, baby.
Yeah,
Just give me your
that's
number.
not cool.
Absolutely uneffing acceptable. But
Right.
the pendulum has.
Right.
I'm
I
not
agree
trying to
with
be
that.
this guy. The pendulum has swung a bit too far. To literally.
Well, they got to make Canada great again.
There's a young person in my life that believed that you're no longer allowed to buy drinks for women. Right? It's me too. We can't do that stuff anymore. I'm like, no. The problem is if you do, and she says, I'm not interested, and then you keep trying to force yourself upon her, then you've got a problem.
Yeah, it was better in the old days when we could buy it and force ourselves.
Thank you. There we go. There's Drew Forrester. Remember, he's past 60.
You remember
so-
Charlotte?
Yeah. Do I?
You remember Charlotte?
Do I?
I told you that girl wasn't.
I don't really.
I told you that girl wasn't interested in you, and you said she's gonna be.
No, it was the exact opposite of that, which is I got terribly drunk, and then she said, boy, that's very disappointing. And I said,
I've heard that before.
Nothing's ever sobered me up quicker than when that young lady that we were out with in Charlotte said, I thought you were going to come back with me tonight. And I said, what? You thought
don't
what
say
now?
What? It didn't come out of your mouth the right way. You went, what?
Yeah.
What?
I was gone.
Talk to Uncle Drew.
Gone. I was
Talk
told
to Uncle Drew.
They gave Drew and I microphones to do breaks in between
my
songs
God.
at a bar like we were
Oh,
DJs.
my God.
And then I got so hammered that apparently I was sitting under a table singing the Maryland fight song.
They were playing Florida State in football.
Yeah.
They were playing Florida State in football.
It was a long.
Back when they used to play them.
Yeah, correct. They were in the AC. Now, what happened in those games? Maryland and Florida State. They played each other, obviously, twice this year. What happened in those games? This is the problem.
Oh, that's right. They don't play them anymore.
There is something to be said for.
No, but I agree with that.
The response to this from women, there's something to be said. But the problem isn't that Wiley Ballard shouldn't be allowed to do that. The problem is you should be allowed to if you want. If you want.
Yeah, here's what we expect of you. Do you want to?
If you want to be just this is the social
and if
media
you do it well
influencer
enough when you're
type.
50, you can be Brett Musburger.
You might very well be.
And say, I think I should enroll
if
in Florida
a
State.
female sports personality.
Or was it Alabama where he said that? Because
I
they have any classes. They have any,
yeah,
Florida State
it was,
is where he said.
A.J. McCarron's girlfriend.
Florida State is where he said,
Yeah.
"Oh my."
Yeah, that was Jen
Then
Sturger.
Alabama
yes.
was when he said, "Do they have any open?
Yes,
do they have
that
any
was-
classes open in
That was
Alabama?"
A.J. McCarron's girlfriend, and maybe his mom too. I
Yeah.
think we're both in the shot. at that
Musburger would
point.
just.
Yeah.
They would pan to, and
Yeah.
and by the way, at the end of his career, they did it on purpose.
Oh, 100%. Right. They were
Just to see if
they could go viral. Right.
Just to
yeah.
see if they could get Brett to
Yeah,
say
say
something.
1,000%.
Oh, my,
There
look
is a
at her.
point, but the point isn't that Wiley
Brett,
Ballard
we're on the
shouldn't
air.
do that. Wiley Ballard didn't do anything wrong there. He didn't. If there was pushback, if the woman involved had no interest in being a part of
Right,
it,
right.
and he continued, then there would be a problem.
You have
But
to assume that he went up to them and said,
Yeah, we're gonna
hey,
do
can- you want to do a
a
minute
segment,
on TV with me?
right? And if she had no interest in any of that,
Well, you
then-
wouldn't have gone to him in the first place.
correct. Then
Right.
he's got to, and he didn't do anything that crossed the line at all. But the women that are saying, "Hey, there's a double standard here," and we would, if we did that, we would be told we were wildly unprofessional. They're right, and that's the problem. The problem isn't that Wiley Ballard did it; it's our reaction is that any female reporter that shows any sign of we react inappropriately to. And there is a sexism problem in this country, unquestionably, but not because of what he did. What he did is fine. That's his role. That's his personality. That's what they want on the broadcast, is just go be the goof that wanders around the stadium. Is that job available? I'll still take it. I don't think that,
You and our president are
they-
like kindred spirits. with the
well, I
way
don't
you-
know. I don't know where you're going with
The
that.
way you treat women.
What?
Because they're kindred
I
spirits.
don't know what
Kid
just
gloves.
happened here. When we come back in, we're gonna do.
Beautiful,
we got a
beautiful.
segment to get to.
Beautiful
It's
young
It's
woman.
been a little while. We got to get to our segment, and then Elijah Saunders,
segment?
new Maryland basketball player, is going to join us. The segment.
Oh.
Yeah, you better check the internet.
No,
dog.
I know what happened.
Who won the games last night?
Warriors and Hawks.
Hey, no.
No, Warriors and
No.
Hawks got beat by.
Yeah.
Hold on.
All right, we'll talk about it in NBA Corner next.
What makes the Costas Inn so special? This is Stan the Fan telling you that it's the people that work for you, cooking and serving. But that menu is also special with a capital S. Soups, salads, the raw bar, pasta dishes, seafood specialties, and entrees like the Costas combos, steaks, chops, ribs, amazingly delicious meatloaf, and all manner of delicious filling sandwiches, including pit beef and turkey and subs. Of course, the steamed crabs are as good as you you can get anywhere, and they serve them 12 months a year. The crab cakes are out of this world. Costas is open 7 days a week for lunch and dinner at 4100 North Point Boulevard. And coming soon, very soon, Costas in Timonium at the OTB Parlor at Timonium Racecourse. We'll get you the opening date real soon.
Make the most out of every day in your Toyota RAV4. Available in hybrid or gas-only models. A RAV4 can get you where you want to go in style. Check out buyatoyota.com for deals on new RAV4s from your local Toyota dealer today.
The latest edition of Press Box is available now, and on the cover, Luke Jackson looks at the long road back from Tommy John surgery for Orioles closer Felix Bautista, as well as Kyle Bradish and Tyler Wells. Also inside, we learn more about new Maryland basketball coach Buzz Williams from the players who have played for him at other stops. Plus, evaluators around baseball chime in on Orioles' top prospect Samuel Basayo. Press Box is available for free at over 500 locations throughout the region, including 60 Royal Farm stores. Or you can read the entire issue online at PressBoxOnline.com, where you can also find great betting advice and the best daily coverage of the Orioles, Ravens, and Terps.
Need a trophy or award that's as unique as the achievement? Look no further than Crown Trophy. With locations in Owings Mills and Gaithersburg, they specialize in custom trophies, plaques, and medals for any occasion. From sports and academic awards to employee recognition and corporate gifts, visit crowntrophy.com today and let them help you create a lasting memory for your school, team, or business. Crown Trophy is a proud supporter of the Maryland Public Secondary Schools Athletic Association. crowntrophy.com.
One of the things that's definitely wrong with this country is that this dude still has a job somehow, some way. Glenn Clark.
All right, we got to get right to it because Elijah Saunders is going to join us in a few minutes. It's a Wednesday and Drew's back, so it's time for NBA Corner.
What? We got a name for this.
You wanted to change it to what?
Hanging on the rim.
Hanging on the rim. That's what he wanted to change it to. I'm sticking with NBA Corner. It's easier to type on Twitter. No one knows the association like our guy Drew Forrester, and with the regular season now in the rearview window and the playoffs, you know they do a bit.
By the way, a top 5 Pearl Jam song.
What?
Rearview window.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Rearview mirror.
Rearview mirror.
Same thing.
They try to pretend like these aren't. You're not supposed to call these games the playoffs. These are their own thing. You're not supposed to do that. But to get us...
I thought I was doing the segment.
Sorry. To keep us abreast of all things going on in the association, Drew Forrester. NBA Corner brought to you by County Sports. Breast. County Sports Zone. CountySports.zone. Everything you need to know. Crazy year in MIAA lacrosse. You've got 4 teams that are all sitting there with 1 loss. Find out more about it right
Who are
now.
They? Calvert Hall, McDonough, Boys Latin.
Spalding, and Boys Latin.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Find out all about it. CountySports.zone, proudly sponsored
McDonough?
by your local Toyota
Latin?
dealer and buyatoyota.com. Spalding beat McDonough. Boys Latin beat Spalding. Yeah, it's nuts. It's
crazy.
All right, man.
All right. Well, only the Wizards could screw up getting the first or finishing with the worst record. Doesn't necessarily get them the first pick. But somehow the Wizards went on a run at the end of the year, finished with 18 wins. And the Utah Jazz turned out to be the worst team in the NBA somehow. Where are you, John Stockton, when we need you? 17
Good
wins
question.
for the Jazz. Last night, Jimmy Butler, Steph Curry led the Warriors to a big win. They are the 7th seed in the playoffs. I don't understand how it all works.
Who was the leading scorer for the Warriors last night?
I have zero idea.
There we go. That's our guy.
I have no idea.
Iguodala.
Who cares?
Who cares? Said
who
the
cares?
host of NBA Corner.
We're just trying to win a game here. We're not interested in individual stats. Oklahoma City.
Are you actually asking, or
But do you know? Do you know?
it was Jimmy Butler, right?
It was Jimmy Butler.
Okay, well,
But it was like 38-37.
Yeah,
I
it
just
was
said that. I said Butler and Curry led the team.
I understand that. But I asked
Can
you.
I do the segment? Let's make this.
What's the jaw have?
Can we
Please.
make this professional? Huh?
Go.
Well, I was curious, right?
Oklahoma City finished with the most wins in the conference or in the league. 68-14 was their final record. Also last night, the Orlando Magic claimed the 7th seed in the East. And they beat Atlanta. The Atlanta Hawks
Trae Young kind of lost his mind there at the end.
are now going to have to fight their way into the postseason.
Saying that like Drew didn't know. Of course Drew knew that.
Yeah, right. And the Lakers.
That's it.
Well, no, the Lakers are definitely worth talking about.
How so?
Well, they finished as the 3rd seed, 50-32 on the year,
Yeah.
and they're really, they have a nice chance here.
Got a nice chance.
I think they have a nice chance because they got the dude.
They got the guard
And Lukacic or whatever his name
Lukacic,
is.
right?
From Dallas.
Lukey Dookie.
They got him, and they got, I don't know if you know, they got LeBron.
Oh. Now, when did that happen?
Yep.
I
So
feel like
LeBron and
that should have been in the papers.
Doncic. So they're flying.
Old
Lakers. Lakers had a nice little run there at the end of the year. So.
You know, they got that coach. They win sometimes.
They win some, they lose
They
some.
lose sometimes.
By the way, you had 3 teams in the West all finished with the same record, 50-32.
That's correct.
Lakers, Denver, and the Clippers.
Yep.
So a little scheduling nuance.
Little scheduling nuance. That has to do a lot with scheduling. That's
record
That's
nuance.
how that works.
Statistical nuance.
Yeah.
Do you want my fearless prediction on how this is all going to turn out?
I've been dying to know. We're going to take this right to the bank.
I believe the finals this year are going to be the Oklahoma City Thunder and the Celtics of Boston.
Okay. Oklahoma City, obviously the best team. No doubt about that, but they've never done it before.
No, but that's okay.
That's why some questions about you don't have those questions. You trust, of course.
Kevin Durant's going to have
exactly
huge,
right,
and Westbrook are both going to be.
Yep.
This is their time.
I think Harden's due for.
This is their time.
Serge Ibaka.
Well, Harden's been on every team.
Yeah.
In fairness to Harden, he's been
Reggie Jackson.
The only team Harden hadn't played for is Atlanta and the Wizards.
That's fair.
He's been on every other team in the league.
Oh, he'll be a Wizard before it's
over.
over.
For sure.
100%. He's
and making $39 million a year.
He's going to have a moment.
When he's 50.
Yeah, that's going to occur. All right. And
Celtics Thunder is the favorite matchup, +175.
Oh, look at this guy going chalk. Yeah. Look at this guy over here, chalking
When you
it
know
up.
your hoops, you know your hoops.
That's true. That's why you're our guy. You do know your hoops.
Yep.
All right.
So there you go.
Anything else?
Nope.
That's NBA corner.
That's NBA corner.
Hanging on the rim.
Hanging on the rim, baby.
Zach Edey looked pretty good.
He did. Zach
I
Edey.
didn't think he was
Santi
gonna
Aldama
translate.
getting some big
Santi
minutes
Aldama
last
got
night.
aimed on the ball a little quicker, but
Yeah, a little bit of that. That wasn't great.
How do you feel about Buzz Williams?
Have you not been here for that long that we haven't talked about Buzz Williams?
Was the first week of March Madness the last time he was here?
God.
What's Buzz Williams doing?
I mean, he's got Elijah Saunders is about to join him.
How funny is it he said, I know what I'm doing?
How long are you here?
I don't know. I'll be here for a while.
Oh, will you?
Yeah, why?
I never know with you.
I know. I don't either. I haven't gotten bored today.
That's what it is. Well, we're about to have a guest on, though, so I'm very worried.
Oh,
yeah, that's what I'm
Who
worried.
is it?
Elijah Saunders. He's a New Maryland basketball player.
Oh,
he
I
was
got
at
some questions for him.
He was at Virginia last year.
What on earth are you thinking about?
He was at San Diego State
Have
before
you
that.
seen
He's
this
from
fiasco
Phoenix.
here?
Jeez.
Good luck here.
That's gonna be what we're doing. I'm asking if you're going to stick around to do Would You Rather Wednesday, or should I give you the questions now because you're going to duck
I'll
out?
stick around for 10 minutes.
Okay. For 10 minutes?
Well, 20. Is the Preakness here this year, or did we move it?
Yes, the Preakness is...
I was hoping we'd move it.
What else? Just keep going.
Lose the
keep...
Preakness.
You haven't been here since Ovechkin broke the record.
Oh.
You want to do?
How cool was that? Would have been cool if we'd done it at home. What a goal, though.
I mean,
like,
yeah.
what
yeah,
a goal.
Yeah, it's
to,
a pretty
to
quintessential,
end it on,
yeah.
right? Like, that was really phenomenal. What do you think they're going to do? They might play
lose
Columbus.
In the first round.
If they play Columbus, I'm worried either way. Montreal's got those two kids that can score, Caulfield and Suzuki, and Columbus is red hot. Columbus, I think, Columbus needs Montreal to lose tonight.
Suzuki's in Montreal?
Columbus needs who's Montreal play tonight?
He played till he was like
Nashville?
45. Then he went to hockey? That's amazing.
Play?
We should talk
Montreal
more
has
about
to
that.
win tonight, and they're in. This is crazy. I do not want the Caps to play Columbus. I do not like that.
Canadians play the Hurricanes tonight.
Where?
In Montreal.
If they win, they're in. If they lose and Columbus wins against someone tomorrow, then Columbus is in. This is going right down to the wire. I'm very nervous about the Caps.
Blue Jackets host the Isles tomorrow.
Okay, well, that's a win for them.
Yeah, it sounds...
I'm very nervous about the Capitals. I hate to say it. I don't trust these two goalies. And the Protas injury, if Protas comes back, that really helps them. But without Protas and these two goalies, I'm very nervous.
I have lots. I don't...
Logan Thompson,
you can be doubting of POTUS, but I have lots of faith that he's going to make America great.
He already has. Have you seen what's going on?
Tariffs. I think I only paid $75 for grapes the other day. It was
tariffs.
It was
we're going to tariffs, and you know what we're going to do? We're going to show these people we're number one.
Correct.
For a long time, people have not realized that.
That's a great point. That's what they're saying.
We're the best country in the world.
They're all around the world. They're saying that now.
It's very obvious. Very obvious.
We're killing it. All right, that was Hockey Corner. That was NHL Corner. The problem is Drew actually knows about the NHL, so we can't really do that segment because he
I'm
actually.
just nervous about the Caps. I think Winnipeg's going to win.
You want to bring back Rubbins Racing? You ready?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, let's do it.
I think Winnipeg is going to win it all.
Winnipeg, you say?
Yeah.
And now, race fans, for the most famous words in motorsports, the star of Universal Pictures movie, I now pronounce you Chuck and Larry.
You can't check
Kevin
the internet quick enough to know who
James.
won the race.
I just got three things
Not
to
capable
say.
of it.
God bless our troops. God bless America. And gentlemen, start your engine!
All right, you're going to get 3 guesses. Where was NASCAR last week?
Oh.
3 guesses.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't even think I need 3.
Okay.
New Hampshire?
No.
New Hampshire.
What is a track there?
They do. They do have a track.
Okay.
Loudon, yes. He just doesn't know things.
He deserves a slap on the wrist for that, for doubting me.
He doesn't know there was an era. What Griffin doesn't know is there was an era of media where, like, we knew all of these things.
Right.
We knew who won
yeah,
the golf
we
tournament
actually
that
cared.
weekend. We knew who won the
Right. We
NASCAR
cared.
race. We won.
Right.
Like, ESPN, that was what the programming was they were actually recapping what happened in
Right.
sports and
Right.
not just yelling about LeBron James.
Phoenix.
You know, like, no.
Am I hot?
What?
Am I warm?
I would say no. I would
Okay, well,
say-
I went.
I would say you've
south-
gone over here
Yeah,
and
I
over
went
here.
southwest and northeast.
Yeah. The problem is most of them are generally located in.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, they were in Charlotte.
Over 3.
Damn.
Over 3.
Where were they?
They were in Bristol.
Oh, were they really?
Bristol. Now, how about I give you 5 guesses?
I've been to that track before.
As to who won.
I've been to that track before.
I have as well, actually. I parked cars when I was 14 years old.
I've been to that track. Okay, so short track. Oh, Logano.
No. A second-time winner this season.
Oh. Austin Dillon.
No. Austin Dillon hasn't won it this year, apparently.
All right, take it easy.
I'm just letting you know.
Kyle Larson.
Kyle Larson on guess 3. Look at you.
Wow.
Guess 3. Kyle Larson is second.
Tell me I don't know auto racing.
Man, you know, that's why you're the host of Rubbins Racing.
He won by 8 lengths.
That's lengths. Sure did. All right.
Oh, man.
We're going to get the opportunity now to meet one of the new members of the University of Maryland basketball team as Buzz Williams is putting together his roster for his first season in College Park. And one of the players he's brought in comes by way of Virginia after having started his career at San Diego State. He's a Phoenix native, and he is with us this morning.
Phoenix,
here.
Maryland, or
No,
Phoenix, Arizona?
Phoenix, Arizona.
Okay, I'm just making sure because of Phoenix, Maryland.
I live in
he's
Phoenix,
right. Yeah, he's right
Maryland,
down the
yeah.
street.
Joining us this morning, it's a pleasure to meet Elijah Saunders, who's with us now here on GCR. Elijah, it's Glenn and Drew here in Baltimore. It's great to chat with you, man. Thank you so much for taking the time for us this morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely, man.
All
Elijah,
right, Final Four or not? Let's get it right out of. Let's get it on the table right away, Saunders. Final Four or bust. You got it?
I got you.
Hey, Elijah, I think the easy question is why, right? Like, take me through for someone who's, I guess now at this point, a bit of a traveler, right, from the West Coast to the East Coast. When you decided that you were going to jump into the portal, why was it that Maryland was the place for you?
Yeah, I remember Coach Buzz had called me, I think maybe sometime last week, and you know, he's always been a coach that I've liked. My dad actually probably once a month sends me a Buzz Williams motivational clip.
Really?
Really? On my phone. Yeah, I mean, that's something he's always done. So, you know, I just think someone like that, you know, he's a high character guy, but pushes his players to be the best they can be. You know, that was really intriguing.
Man.
And, you know, the amount of interest he showed so fast, you know, in the portal, you know, I was definitely interested.
Do you have like a favorite of all the motivational Buzz Williams clips and quotes? Do you have one that like you fall back on?
Nah.
Okay.
Nah, but I always, you know, my dad, he's always been a huge fan of him, so
that's really cool.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people would say, but this is a really interesting situation to come into, right? Where first year at a new place and everybody's new and everybody's got to gel together, and you're not someone who's, you know, got 3 years of eligibility left at this point. Like, you got to make it. Why is that not something that would push you away from Maryland? Why is it that that's a challenge that you say? Is it just because that's the new way that college basketball is, and it's pretty much going to be that way wherever you would go?
Yeah, you know, that's what honestly gave me the idea to enter the portal. I think I was the last guy on the roster at Virginia who had entered the portal, who had played minutes last year. But to me, it was like, any situation I'm going to step into is going to be a new situation for me. So just to find somewhere, we're going to have an older roster, experienced guys. We got a good amount of experience out of the portal. And, adding me to that, I think we can be a special group with versatility and strength, and especially in the Big Ten under Coach Williams, I think we can be really good.
Elijah, I'm not going to ask you about the money and the NIL and all that, because that's your business. But is this really, as you guys and your friends, your teammates, guys that get into the transfer portal, does it ultimately come down to the coach? Was Buzz Williams what sold you on this? Obviously, you were going to go play somewhere at a high level for someone. Is it always about the coach?
For me, I would say yes. Even when I left San Diego State, it wasn't all about NIL for me. I was offered more to play other places in Maryland. But for me, where can I be best at? Where am I going to find a coach and a culture and a program that is going to push me to be the best? Because like you said, I only have 1 year left. So, once this year is over, I'm going to have to be prepared for what's to come. So, it's not all about the NIL. Most of it for me is going to be saved anyway. So, it just came down to the culture that Buzz is going to bring to Maryland and trying to be a part of something special.
Elijah Saunders is with us here on GCR. Elijah, was last year, was it just like definitively being the first year as a full-time starter? What was it that it brought out your best season, arguably playing in a tougher conference, clearly in the ACC?
Yeah, it was fun. I kind of knew coming to Virginia I was going to have a big role on a team that was kind of young. So it was fun having that experience, having a guy that, we kind of relied on me, especially earlier in the year, before I got hurt, just trying to figure things out. At San Diego State, I was kind of in more of a role, very young. I was a younger guy on that team. So kind of now being an older guy on this Virginia team this past year, it was a good experience, kind of failing and learning, going through the ups and downs as a guy who was relied on more in a bigger role. So it was cool.
How much does the experience you did have, though, at San Diego State, obviously making the run, and I know, to your point, you weren't, one of the top guys on that team, but having been in that situation, how much do you feel like that has helped you? And in a situation where there's no obvious leader, right? Like, you're coming into a team where everybody's going to be coming from about the same footing. Do you feel like that's something that you can bring, having had maybe experiences that other guys on this team have not had, playing deep into the NCAA tournament?
Yeah, especially my sophomore year. I think I played 26 minutes in the Sweet 16 against UConn.
Yeah.
So, that we lost a lot. We lost by a lot in that game. But even the Gale game, UAB, I played in March Madness. I played in both years at San Diego State. We were in the conference tournament championship. So we didn't have as much success this year at Virginia, but that was also a factor. Going to a program that I think we have a chance to be a really good team next year and compete for the league and try to make a run in the NCAA tournament. So that's what I want to get back to. I want to get back to March. I want to get to the second weekend. I want to go farther. I want to go as far as we can go. So, and that's kind of that mentality that the coaching staff has at Maryland. So we kind of aligned with that.
Do you know any of these guys? Like, this is the crazy part, is that, like, you look for connections, and some of these guys are coming from Texas A&M together. Do you know any of these guys? Have you played with them on any circuit before? Like, do you have any pre-existing relationships with any of your new teammates?
Not personally, but as a fan of college basketball, I kind of watch everyone. And some of the guys we have on this roster were very, I want to play with. Pharrell Payne, Miles Rice, Solomon Washington, like, those guys play hard, have played in college, have put up, good numbers in our experience. Like, those are the guys you want to play with. And, up until I committed, those are the guys who were already committed. So, I thought just joining those guys and guys who I kind of admire from afar, their games, you always want to play with guys who you like their game.
How does this work, right? Like, how does a group of guys that don't all know each other come together over the span of the next, obviously we're talking about like 6 months until the season begins, and then a year between now and the NCAA tournament. How does that happen? Like, what do you guys start jumping on text threads, video? Do you start trying to plan workouts? Like, what allows this to hit the ground running when you get to the fall?
Yeah, I think just, getting together in the summer, open runs, workouts, like you said, just spending time together as a team, but also having the same vision, having the same goals. At San Diego State, that's one thing I will say. The team that went to the Final Four my freshman year, everyone wanted to go to the Final Four. That was everyone's goal going into the year. We had an old team, experienced guys who had the same goal. And when everyone's vision aligns, I think that's when you can have something special. And I think, the guys that we're starting to put together, want to be good, want to win the league, want to go far in the tournament.
All right, you're talking to a couple of dads today. Now, admittedly, we're much older than you are. We're not. But how has fatherhood changed you as a person, as a basketball player, as a leader? What it all means to you? Like everybody warned me. Drew would tell me all the time, "You're not going to be the same human being. You're going to be a completely." And I would be like, "All right, man, whatever." And then it happened, and I was like, "Oh, I get it. Like, I am an utterly and completely different human being than I was." What has fatherhood done for you?
You're worse, actually.
Yeah. Stop.
Yeah, I would just say, for me, just put a lot of things in perspective. It kind of showed me, how much my parents did for me, and kind of the role that you take on as a parent, having to provide for your child. And also just, it took me to a whole nother level in terms of focus in basketball. I think after my freshman year, I averaged 0.9 points, shot 18% from three in the 16 games that I appeared in. So, to start the next year, to start the first game, and to play, more as a sophomore, and even this year, past year at Virginia, it's just given me more of a motivation that I really didn't have up until my son was born.
I understand that entirely, man. Like, it really is. Your world changes, and you just, all right, man, this is life now. And there's nothing greater than it, right? There really is nothing better in the world. Elijah Saunders, just another couple minutes here on GCR with one of the newest Maryland basketball players. Elijah, for those that aren't familiar with your game, right, for people that weren't watching Virginia or San Diego State in the past, what is it that Maryland fans should be expecting from Elijah Saunders?
Yeah, I think at Maryland I'm going to be able to showcase kind of a mix of what I did at San Diego State and Virginia. Defensively, I feel like at San Diego State I was in more of a defensive role, come in, knock down threes, play guard 2 through 5. So I think I'll be able to showcase that more this year. And, obviously what I did at Virginia up until we kind of started doing more of the mover blocker. I hit the trail 3, catch rip, post up smaller players, take advantage of guys who are taller and slower than me. So I think I can play multiple positions, guard multiple positions, and, just do whatever the team needs me to do. Get on the glass. I know Coach Williams, I think they had one of the best offensive rebounding numbers in the country last year. So I think that's something I could improve on under, the new coaching staff and get better at.
All right. And then are you familiar with how insane we are about the state flag here in Maryland? Have you learned that yet since you've arrived? And have you purchased your first a shirt or anything like that that's just our obsession with the state flag?
No, not yet. But the thing that I did see was the license plates actually have the flag at the bottom, and it's on the court and it's all over. So on the jerseys,
it's really hard to explain. You're going to look into the crowd, and
you better get it tattooed on you by the time you're done.
Like, we are the state flag and crabs. It's like the two things that we care about in this area. But we're excited to care about more and what you guys are going to be doing. Elijah, you're not on Twitter. Did I see that correctly?
No, I don't have a Twitter.
But Instagram, it's Elijah_Saunders.
Yes, sir.
Anything else that we can plug for you, man?
That's pretty much it. I really only be on Instagram, so that's really on my only social media.
Give him a follow there. Elijah, we're really excited about seeing you in College Park and what it is that Buzz Williams is putting together with this group. Thank you for spending some time with us this morning, man. We're looking forward to chatting more as the season gets underway, all right?
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Elijah Saunders, incoming Maryland basketball player, with us here on GCR. All right, we'll come back in. We'll play Would You Rather
Sounded like
Wednesday.
a nice kid.
You want to go ahead? What do you have?
No.
Oh.
Sounded like a nice kid.
There's usually a follow-up after
It's Holy
you say,
Week.
Oh,
He sounded like a nice kid.
He did sound like a nice kid.
he-
But normally when you say that, you're just going to say something like, they're going to win 10 games. That's normally how you follow it up. That's normally.
No.
I know you're the 8-1.
As soon as they fire Buzz, they'll find a new coach. 3 years, they'll have another new coach.
All right, we come back in.
I hope Villanova goes 2-28.
I'm with you on that. We'll play Would You Rather Wednesday. Still to come, Baltimore native Grep Penn, LSU offensive lineman. He's getting ready for the NFL draft. We'll play Would You Rather Wednesday, then you can go. All right? Drew's here for another 2 minutes. Glenn Clark Radio.
Driving in Maryland? Did you know an Easy Pass from DriveEasyMD.com can save you time and money? Of course you did, because you are a thrifty driver. An antenna reads your Easy Pass transponder and automatically deducts the toll from your Easy Pass account. There, you just saved money with Easy Pass, all without slowing or receiving a notice in the mail. Well done, thrifty driver, well done. Get your Easy Pass at DriveEasyMD.com.
Baltimore's Classic 5 golf courses make golf fun and affordable. All 5 local courses, Pine Ridge, Mount Pleasant, Forest Park, Carroll Park, and Clifton Park, are challenging and fun for players of all skill levels. Book your tee time today at classic5golf.com.
Discover luxury without limits at Live Casino and Hotel Maryland. This April, unlock a world of high-fashion delights and exclusive style. Earn entries daily starting April 1st and join our drawing on Friday, April 25th. 19 will win up to $2,000 in cash and free play. And one grand prize winner will take home a curated Versace homeware collection. At Arundel Mills, must be 21. Please play responsibly. For help, visit mdgamblinghelp.org or call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Gambling can be a fun and entertaining experience, but there are risks involved. If you're planning on betting on the game at the casino or on your phone or computer, know your limit, stay within it. Set a budget and a time to stop. Remember, gambling isn't a financial solution, and it doesn't mix well with alcohol or drugs. Know the risks and have a plan before you begin gambling. For free and confidential services, call 1-800-GAMBLER 24/7 or go to helpmygamblingproblem.org.
The latest edition of Press Box is available now, and on the cover, Luke Jackson looks at the long road back from Tommy John surgery for Orioles closer Felix Bautista, as well as Kyle Bradish and Tyler Wells. Also inside, we learn more about new Maryland basketball coach Buzz Williams from the players who have played for him at other stops. Plus, evaluators around baseball chime in on Orioles' top prospect Samuel Basayo. Press Box is available for free at over 500 locations throughout the region, including 60 Royal Farm stores. Or you can read the entire issue online at PressBoxOnline.com. where you can also find great betting advice and the best daily coverage of the Orioles, Ravens, and Terps.
Contrary to what some people believe, I actually like this guy when he sleeps. Glenn Clark, talking sports.
All right. Not winding down, really. We're going to talk to Grep Penn from LSU, Baltimore native, getting ready for the draft.
Are we going to beat up John in Little Rock or no?
No, I'm not going to fight what he did. He doesn't like Roy McIlroy, apparently.
Wow. Roy doesn't like him.
Doesn't impact me in any way. So
John in Little Rock.
I got nothing on
How'd
that.
Arkansas do in the basketball tournament?
I don't think he's an Arkansas. He is kind of an Arkansas fan. Support the Brigance Brigade with their annual 5.7K race and 1.57-mile fun walk Saturday, April 26th. The day will be full of racing, walking, and family fun. Starting at the Maryland Zoo in Baltimore, and it all supports the fight against ALS. On top of the race and walk, there will also be a kids' fun run, sack races, a freeze dance competition, moon bounce, face painting, and cupcake bar, plus free zoo admission included with your registration. Race, play, and make lasting memories together. Register now at brigantsbrigade.org. All right. Did you stick with the Orioles game last night, or did you bail at some point?
I left it right when they went ahead 6-0.
All right.
And I came back when it was 6-3.
Okay, so you missed by far and away the most entertaining thing that's happened in Orioles baseball so far this season.
Okay.
By far and away.
Okay.
We learned, for some reason, Kevin Brown was so bored by it being a 6-0 game that he just decided to talk about Syracuse for 20 minutes. Like, I like Kevin. It was a very self-serving thing. No one watching that broadcast gave a rat's ass about Kevin Brown talking. He was just trying to talk. Apparently, the new pitcher, Blewett, has a connection to Syracuse, and Kevin Brown went to Syracuse.
I mean, that guy, there's no possible way that guy doesn't change his name.
Well, I mean, it's very difficult for all. But
why would you change your name to Want It?
Last night, did not. Anyway, so Kevin Brown's talking about his favorite places to get wings in
Upstate
Central New York.
Right.
And Jim Palmer is doing the game with him last night and informs
One of the 21 he's doing.
Yeah, informs of something I didn't know about Jim Palmer, but makes all the sense in the world from Masson 2 last night.
Well, he never gave up a grand slam?
That's also true.
What do you mean you've never had a wing?
Never, ever had a wing.
You've never had... Wait a minute.
No, I'm just never have.
You've never had a chicken wing?
No.
Like,
why would I?
Why would you?
Don't they have skin and stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lots of things have skin.
But I don't eat skin.
Apples have skin.
Not a...
Why eat apples?
You've never had a single chicken wing?
No, never thought about having it.
That is staggering to me. So what kind of chicken do you eat?
White breast.
What about, like,
fried chicken?
You'll eat fried chicken?
Never had fried chicken.
Never?
Well, I've taken the crust off and...
What is this? What is this? You've taken the crust off?
I don't believe this.
All right, now
so you're losing the frying part of the
We've
fried
gotten the
chicken.
point
Never
out of
had a
this.
chicken wing.
Now, you say that, and I see how incredulous you are, but to be fair, we've all seen Jim Palmer in his underpants. It's totally plausible the man's never had a chicken wing.
I don't buy it. I think he's lying.
Would you rather number one? Would you rather Wednesday? You can win a $30 gift card to Glory Days Grill to get lots of chicken wings.
Nice.
Would you rather number one?
I don't buy it.
The Devils offered you a deal. The Orioles offense is fixed starting tonight.
All right.
Eflin and
Close John's radio off.
What is your deal? Eflin and Grayson are both back by May 1st.
Okay.
And he guarantees they'll at least be in the playoffs this year.
Okay, I'm in.
If
Oh.
you adopt the Jim Palmer diet and you can never have another chicken wing or any form of fried chicken until the Orioles next win a World Series.
Orioles make the playoffs this year.
Yep.
Everything's
fixed. Everything's good.
I can't eat fried chicken
or
a
chicken
wings,
wing, anything like that, until they win a World Series. Or they're on their own.
Yeah, they're on their own.
Okay.
F 'em.
Griffin.
Everything's fixed?
Everything's fixed. Everything's good. Starting tonight. Life is good again. But we're not guaranteeing the World Series.
I don't even eat
this year.
chicken wings that much.
I know, I don't eat chicken wings that
That's
much
the crazy
either.
part. I don't even eat chicken wings
I
that
like
much
fried
either,
chicken.
but I want the option.
Right.
I actually had
I
some
do
chicken
too.
wings this week for the first time
I do
in
too.
a while.
I don't want the team to win that much. Now, if you said the Capitals, it would be a different story.
Right, great point. a team that hasn't won in a long time.
And then, so then when this group, when this core is out and they still haven't won a World Series.
Yeah, then you're still stuck with the Jim Palmer
By
diet.
the way, what is it with you and flannel shirts?
I like flannel shirts.
I don't really know why you're worked up about that. We got to guess. So we gotta move.
They're on their own.
All right, they're on their
I'll
they're
keep
on
my
their
chicken.
own.
Everybody's going to say the same thing.
No, not everybody's going to say that. It's been not even
Vegans out
50-50 so far.
What are these, vegans?
Number 2, would you rather the Ravens indeed trademark Andrews to the Colts?
What?
Remember, that's the only thing people were talking about out of that is that they didn't say anything about Mark Andrews, really. They just said, we had Mark Andrews, and then moved on.
Okay.
They trade him to the Colts for a second-round pick swap, moving from 59 to 45. Or
So they take Scattaboo.
maybe. Or, well, they already paid him his $4 million bonus. Might as well hold on to him and try to get a comp pick at the end of the year.
So what's going to happen, or what do you want to happen?
Which would you rather?
Well, that's what's going to happen.
Would you
if they're
rather?
gonna hold
Stop.
him.
Would you rather is the game.
I'm not trading Mark Andrews.
Okay.
What kind of moron wants to get rid of him?
I mean,
he catches everything that's thrown his way.
well, the funny thing about that is.
Well, almost everything.
Yeah, a lot of things.
Nearly everything.
Yeah, a lot of things. I do agree with that. He catches a lot of things.
I'm not trading Mark Andrews.
I mean, I don't think that's enough.
I did the math on this.
Lamar won't sleep
you're
for 6
probably
months.
That's probably true.
It's probably
That's
a
about
realistic
it's about the same.
trade.
It's about the same as a 4th-round pick value-wise.
No, we're not trading Mark Andrews.
Yeah, we'll just run it back with them and
Correct.
go as hard as they can this year.
I don't really even understand why we're continuing the conversation. Like, I really don't get it. I after they paid him the roster bonus, like that to me that's the end of it. Like, why pay the guy the roster bonus just to turn around and trade him for nothing? Like, I don't get it at all.
Trading Mark Andrews is silly.
And this one I think would be more interesting. Would you rather?
Unless we got Dan Wilcox back.
Drew's just gonna say. I know what he's gonna say. Would you rather have lived the life of Ken Griffey Jr.? Cool, popular as hell, one of the greatest players of all time. Now getting to run around and just have neat hobbies like taking being a photographer at the Masters.
Never won anything.
Never won a World Series.
Well, didn't win anything.
Never won a World Series. Or
career loser.
This is unfair to ask Drew because Drew's just going to choose. He can't look at this objectively.
Sure can.
Or live the life of Rory McIlroy.
Rory McIlroy.
He can't look at it objectively. He's not capable of it. He can't do it.
I'll take Roy.
Yeah,
I knew.
I love baseball. I'll be Griffey.
This
Right?
one
That's
is
what it- yeah.
it is really difficult for me because like if Ken Griffey Jr. had won a World Series, there'd be no debate about this whatsoever. Absolutely, 1,000% it's Ken Griffey Jr. at that point.
He hit the wall.
He did. He's the only one that. Well, he hit the warehouse. Yes, a lot of
That's
people
what I
hit
meant.
the walls. Yes,
Same thing.
He's the only one that's
such
ever
a
done
nitpicker.
it. How dare I try to get the facts correct?
This thing with John has really got me off balance.
Why are you?
I got to go. Okay. John ruined the whole day.
Fairways.
Everything was fine.
Fairways and.
Tune in at 4 to see.
All right.
If we have fairways and greens on Easter Sunday at 4 to 6.
Okay. Drew'sMorningDish.com. That's
Have a great Easter. God bless you.
That's where you find. Thank you, pal. What do you do for Easter? I don't know.
Jesus
Do you
is
go out
alive.
to?
Yeah, we go to. Well, we got the whole 9 yards. Holy Thursday tomorrow night. Get my feet washed. Friday night, Good Friday. We got the whole thing.
But do you stick around here? Or do you go out to?
Well, we'll go to Hagerstown in the
Okay.
afternoon.
All right.
All right.
Enjoy. Happy Easter.
Happy
Appreciate
Easter.
you, buddy. Thank you for stopping by. Drew Forrester, Drew'sMorningDish.com. Checking in with us, and maybe fairways and greens.
80%.
80%, he said. 80%. Fairways and greens.
Good chance.
Sunday, 4 to 6 on 105.7 The Fan. All right, NFL Draft. We are just over a week away from the first round of the NFL Draft. One of the names that undoubtedly will be called during the course of the 7 rounds is our next guest. He's a Baltimore native. He is an offensive tackle out of LSU. He is Grep Penn, and he is with us this morning here on GCR. Greg, it's Glenn in Baltimore. It's great to chat with you, man. Thank you so much for taking a couple of minutes for us this morning.
Oh, yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely, dude. Greg, it's great to talk to you. I just wonder if I could start, right? Like, you are it's still rarefied air, right? Like Baltimore kids. It's not as if you're going to be the first or even the only or anything like that. But what does it mean to you that you are still one of the few to come from our city that now is going to be living out your dreams and headed in the NFL?
Yeah, man, it's really just a blessing. I mean, seeing players come before me that came out of Baltimore and knowing those guys growing up and seeing how hard they worked and what they accomplished, it's really just a blessing to be able to be one of those next guys and continue to make the city proud.
Who were the guys that had the biggest influence on you, right? From you referenced some of those guys. Who are the guys either just from watching them or relationships? Who are maybe some of the Baltimore legends that impacted you when you were growing up and now as you make this jump?
Yeah, going way back, his name was Tommy Polly.
Man, I love Tommy Polly. That's one of my favorites. I love that dude so much.
Yep, he trained when I was younger, and then everybody idolized Tavon Austin growing up, seeing how he played, how exciting he was. It's just so many guys. I'm pretty close with Adrian Amos.
That's cool.
With the Cowboys. So I mean, just a couple names to name, but those guys, man, just seeing how they approach things and playing with that Baltimore attitude, that Baltimore spirit, really caught my eye.
I wanted to bring it up because I saw that you had retweeted a little while back the Derek Queen thing from after he hit the game winner against Colorado State, and of course he said, "I'm from Baltimore, that's why." And for every one of us, it's funny because I guess LeBron James was talking about it that week later. Like, actually, even checks out for me. Like, knowing Carmelo Anthony, there's just certain places where somebody says something like that, it makes sense. I wonder how that resonated with you and how you kind of carry that in your life from DeMatha to LSU and now to the NFL, how this place has shaped you and how you carry that "I'm from Baltimore, that's why" with you mentality.
I just feel like it's kind of a mentality that you have. It's a type of confidence, a type of swagger. Not like we're better than people, but we're gonna compete no matter what. It's just a mentality, man. We hard nosed. We're gonna get at you no matter what. We don't care who you are. So I just think that when Derek said that, I just think it struck a nerve for everybody from Baltimore because that's just the mentality we had.
I understand entirely, man. I completely get it. He is Grep Penn, linebacker from LSU. He's getting ready for the NFL draft. He is with us here on GCR. Greg, can you take me through, right, like that decision to go to DeMatha, what that did for you, how you ended up at LSU, and how both of those stops have prepared you for this moment in your life?
Yeah. I actually attended. I went to McDonough.
Yeah.
My freshman year, and that was a really great experience. I had a great time there, and then I really wanted to play big time football, man. WCAC down at DeMatha offered better competition, so I ended up going there and had some great years there. Played with a lot of great players at DeMatha, a lot of NFL players, potential NFL players. So great experience being able to practice against the best and go against them every day. And really just ended up at LSU, basically for the same reasons, man. I wanted to play in the SEC conference. So it was, my years, looking back at it, man, it's just all been a blessing. Like I said before, wouldn't trade anything for anything I've done. I've enjoyed the journey and ready to keep it going.
You reference obviously Tommy being someone, and certainly among linebackers in this era. Are there other guys that like you've watched, you've maybe molded your game after, whether you had relationships with them or not, but like players that you look to as kind of impactful in the type of player that you wanted to become?
Yeah, I mean, with myself playing linebacker, obviously Tommy Polly was really important, but I mean, I watch a lot of guys in today's game. One of my close friends at LSU, when I was a freshman, DeMont Clark, he played a big role in the person I am today and the type of player I am today. So he's a guy I definitely look up to. He plays with the Cowboys right now. And really just, I mean, there isn't really that many people that I really look up to. But I just love taking just parts from people, everybody's game, really. There's a lot of great players out here. So just trying to learn as much as I can and be the best player I can. I think you can learn a lot from anybody.
Do you feel like you are? It's funny because I bring up like the one of the things that I always talk about, like that to me is most Baltimore, is like we just perpetually carry a chip on our shoulder, right? Like it's just sort of who we are as people. Yeah. And I wonder for you, particularly being from Baltimore, and then being someone like you've been a starter for 3 years, you've been an incredibly impactful player. And yet, you're not talked about as being like a first-round draft pick. Like, do you carry that? Do you feel some of that? Like, whoever's about to get me is going to get a madman because I got a lot of people to prove wrong over the next few years.
Yeah, man, it's crazy because kind of dealt with this my whole life. Really, it's always been something. Like when I was younger, I wasn't fast enough. Then I went to DeMatha, got a lot of offers. They said that I was too small at that time. And then I wasn't big enough. And then when I got to college, I got bigger, then I wasn't fast enough again. So it's always something, man. But being from here, man, having that chip on your shoulder, nothing can really faze you. I mean, I know what type of player I am. I played in the best conference for 3 years, 4 years actually, and started for 3 years. So I know the type of player I am. So whatever team picks me up, whatever team grabs me, man, they're going to get a dog. I mean, it's nothing else to say. A lot of the stuff, most of the draft stuff, a lot of it's hype. A lot of it's just trying to get stories and stuff like that. I try to not pay too much attention to it, but I know the player I am. So, I mean, I just can control what I can control and really just be ready for my opportunity.
I understand everything that you're saying. By the way, I brought your name up to a couple of people around the NFL. Like, hey, why isn't Grep Penn like more of it? And they're like, oh yeah, everybody that I talk to is like, yeah, he's a really good football player. Like that's what I get back, and I'm just like, right. So you're not answering the question for me. Like, why is it that he's not more talked about? Do you feel like that is the type of thing that like when somebody says, hey, why is it that so and so team should draft you? Like, is that determination? Is that something that you say immediately you're going to be able to impact any team that takes you because you are going to be hell-bent to succeed because of it?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a guy that's always tried to get after it and be a leader for his team. I feel like any team that drafts me is getting a great guy that can bring anything to a team. I think I can really impact the team in many ways. So, I mean, just being doubted, not being talked about as much as other guys, I mean, it puts a fuel to your fire, man. It just makes you want to go out there and prove people wrong. And I don't got no hate towards anybody, but I just know what I can do myself. I mean, I just know the type of player and person I am.
I understand everything about that. Greg, am I right that you were part of the Ravens pro day, the local pro day?
Yep. I was there.
What does it mean, right? Like, and I know whoever drafts you is going to be exciting, right? But being in that building, being on that like practice field, being around those colors, as a kid who grew up here, was there something particularly special about that for you?
Yeah, it was definitely a different feeling, man. It's definitely a different feeling, especially being from here.
Yeah.
And just able to walk through those doors and see those colors. It's definitely a different feeling, man. Being with the coaches and just running around on the field doing drills. It just makes you want to be there, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, just the culture in Baltimore, the way they play defense is definitely something I like to see and something I would love to play with and play for. So I mean, just being from here, it means more.
Right.
So I mean, at the end of the day, I can't make that decision.
Of course. Right.
But everything grabs me, man. I'm gonna be in love with him.
100%.
A chance on me. That's all I can ask for.
I feel like it's difficult for people to understand that, right? Like today, that might have been like the team, and I don't even know. Were you a Ravens fan growing up? I know some people are just like fans of players. Were you a big Ravens fan growing up?
I was a good Ravens fan, but I was more like fans of players. Like, I like watching towards Airy. I wasn't like a huge Ravens fan, but I fell in love with their style of play, their defensive style.
It's wild though. So even people that are like hardcore hellbent, like I worship the Ravens. Like in 8 days, you're about to be a lifelong fan of somebody else. Like,
literally.
Dyed in the wool. All I care about is the Seattle Seahawks or whoever it ends up being. Is there somebody in your family that it would be particularly tough for if it were to end up being, say, the Pittsburgh Steelers?
I mean, I think I got a couple cousins and family friends and stuff like that. But they'd probably be a little upset, but I don't think they'd be too upset, man, as long as I'm in that National Football League.
Right. They'll learn. All of a sudden, they'll be like, what's really funny? I think I always did look good in black and yellow.
Yeah. That might like Tomlin, yeah.
Right. Yeah, I forgive him for trying to trip Jacoby Jones all those years ago. It's actually my guy all along. Greg, the LSU thing, and you brought up obviously but what does it mean when you come from a place like that where you have so many guys that have been through it that you can reach out to that are going through it at the same time? How much of a benefit is that for you as you've been doing this?
Yeah, man, it's a huge benefit. Just every year, there's guys just going through this process, going through what I'm going through every year. So it's really important that I ask my former teammates, former friends questions and how to handle things and how to approach things. Like last year, 2 years ago, my junior year, my roommate, we lived together, was Brian Thomas, receiver for Jags. So, I mean,
he's okay.
He was the first yeah. He's an okay player, you know. But but I mean, he went through this process and he just told me while he was going through it, the stuff that was happening, things that he was doing, and I mean, just having that knowledge, knowing what's going to come, knowing how this thing works is really important.
It's got to be. I mean, like I can't even imagine how helpful that is going through the process like this. And then I know you all are hurting, and I know that, I don't even know. Can you tell people why Kyron Lacy was so special to everybody? And I just want to tell you how much we're feeling for all you guys. Unfathomable tragedy.
Yeah, it's definitely crazy, man. Really speechless to talk about it.
I understand.
It's definitely tough to even think about. Kyron was just, a guy who brought joy to the room, really. Someone always joking around. Someone always trying to bring energy at practice, talk a lot of smack, get you going, man. He was really a joy to be around, man. He was hilarious. One of the funniest guys I've ever met in my life. And he just wanted to be great, man. He wanted to be one of those next guys that come out of LSU. Like he spoke it into existence. Like that's what he wanted, and he was going to do that, man. It's really tough to you,
Greg. I bring it up in part. I'll tell you, I got to know a lot of Maryland guys over the years after Jordan McNair had passed away, and a lot of those guys would echo the sentiments of, "Look, we want this for us, but now we want to succeed too because Jordan's not able to." and we want to do it for him. Do you feel a little bit of that right now, like that now moving forward you want to succeed for Kyron as well?
Of course.
Yeah.
I think everyone at LSU was trying to succeed for Kyron right now because that's something he wanted, you know. So just trying to do everything I can to make him proud, and we'll just continue to pray for his family and all of his friends, man. It's crazy, man. It's very fresh, but it sounds really unspeakable right now.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. I don't want. I know how tough it is. I really do, and I appreciate you saying what you said, man. Thank you for that, and we will continue to think about you guys and his family and everything. It's just unfathomable. Greg, I really, as I say this, right? Like, have you had the moment where like it's real for you? Like, have you had the moment yet in the process where it hit you? Like, this is my dream. This is the thing that I've worked so hard for. And what will it mean to you next weekend when your name is called?
It hasn't really hit me yet, honestly. So, man, my mom actually asked me that maybe like 3-4 days ago. Like, are you really got like excited? Are you jumpy? I said, not yet. I mean, I'm kind of still laid back about it, but I think once, you know, day one comes and you start hearing guys' names called, you'll start to get that feeling like, I need it. You know what I mean? But I mean, at the end of the day, like I said, you just can control what you can control, man. But it's just such an exciting process, and going through it, I'm really blessed and just happy to be able to even go through it, man. Some guys don't get this shit, so it's a fun experience.
No, I understand exactly what you're saying, right? Like even just being on the road visiting teams, it's a really cool thing. You're in a percentage that a lot of people will never reach already, and we know what's coming from there.
Correct.
Greg, I know it's on Instagram. It's GP3__, correct?
Yes, that is it. Yeah.
And officialgp3.com is your website as well. Greg,
Correct.
we are going to root for you no matter what, right? Like, that's just the way that we are. You're representing us. Please understand, if it does end up being the Steelers, it's going to be a lot more difficult for us than it's going to be for your family. Like, it's going to be like, you might see us say things about you on Twitter. We don't mean it. It's not personal. It's just what it is. We're rooting like hell that it's going to end up being in Baltimore, and it's going to be one of the great stories of all time if it works out that way. Greg, congratulations on everything already, man. So happy for you, for your family. Cannot wait to see what's next for you. Thank you for spending time with us this morning, man. We really appreciate you.
No problem. Thank you for having me, man.
Absolutely. Grep Penn with us here on GCR. Appreciate him taking the time for us. And it's a hell of a football player, man. Like, he really is. I don't know why, like, everybody's talking about, like, he's a day 3 guy. Like, I mean, I just look at him like, he sort of checks a lot of boxes. He's a damn good football player. Thank you. Chris tells me that apparently I introduced him as an offensive tackle. I am so sorry. I don't know why I would have done that. I blame Forrester, really, is what happens. My brain just kind of shuts down. If that's what I did, first of all, please edit it.
Okay.
And if I did, then please tell him I apologize if I did that. I'm so sorry. Not Chris Erich. He's a different Chris. Different Chris who I don't hear from it at all until he wants to tell me that I screwed something up. It's when you hear from a lot of people. Nobody ever says, hey, what a great show that was today. Really enjoyed your discussion of, but boy, are they on you to tell you when you screw up. And I might have. I can't say that definitively. I might very well have done that. If I did, I am sorry. Lo siento. Genuinely, I apologize. I shouldn't have screwed that up. And we'll also edit it so that it's like it never happened. All right. Do we have to take another break? Or we
do have to take
God.
We blame the other guy.
It really
blame that guy.
All over the place today. I was actually afraid to bring up the Wiley Ballard thing while he was here.
You thought he was going to be...
I thought he was going to...
So, like, just one way or the other so far.
Oh, I think it was going to be one way. I thought it was going to be a little bit too far. It's a very complex conversation. But we're not capable of that in our society anymore. Like, in our society, we can't have complex conversations. We just have to do it yes or no. It's goat or trash. That's all we have. And everybody always says to me, like, this is now a communication problem on your end, because it's like that tweet that I talked about from a couple weeks ago when I said, I'm starting to worry that maybe the Orioles aren't very good. And I sent it the Friday night of the Royals series. And it wasn't demonstrative in any way. But that's the way we exist. We read things in that goat or trash concept. And that's how we react to them. And we it's either the greatest clip you've ever seen in your life for a certain number of people. This is the greatest television I've ever seen. Or it's an abomination that they did that on television. And there's dramatic amounts of room between those two things. That segment was largely harmless. Largely. I don't know if the Whip Snakes agree. Yeah. It was also not... It wasn't the greatest television you'll ever see. Like, if you're a bro dog that exists in the world of, yeah, chicks, man, then yeah, like, I get why you think it... But it wasn't brilliant. It was mostly bad television with, like, a moment of silly banter. And there's room for conversation within that. If Wiley Ballard was uncomfortable because the color analyst said, try to get her number, he should have been felt comfortable to say, I'm not going to do that. And that'd be okay. If he didn't feel like it was comfortable for him, if he, because of his work condition, felt like he had to do something he didn't want to do, that's a different conversation, right? Like, that's something that, you know, he can bring up and he can have that conversation. And that's the other part of it, is that just say it. Just say, hey, I'm not comfortable with that. I'm not. Genuinely. Whatever it is, that's not something that I'm comfortable with doing. Okay. And if it doesn't end there, it's always it's a consent. That's the concept of the era that we're living in, is what are people consenting to? And if they're not, then you drop it. A lot of people pointed out, like, at some point, your father maybe got your mother's number. Maybe your mother got your father's number. I don't know. Somehow you exist. At some point, men still talk to women. Women still talk to men. However, women talk to women. Men talk to men. Whatever it is. That all still exists. What we should be learning, the lesson is supposed to be about consent. If a female wants to put pictures of herself in less clothing on the internet, that's okay, because she consented to it. If you snapped a picture of a woman in less clothing and put it on the internet, you're a monster. Do you understand the difference between those two things? That's the lesson that we should be learning, and that's what we should be taking from something like this. Are the people involved consenting? Nothing about what I watch would suggest that there is a concern about consent from any of the parties involved. Now, sometimes people just go along with things in the moment and then ultimately, say, hey, in hindsight, I didn't like that. And I wish I wouldn't have done that, and let me explain why. And that's their right. That's also their right. Sometimes it seems like someone, is okay with something, and afterwards they say, you know what, I've thought about it more and I'm not comfortable with it. That's how consent works. You got to be able to say, okay, then we're not going to do that again. I have autonomy. I wanted Griffin to pursue, what's her name? Dixie D'Amelio.
Right. Yeah, because that was realistic, too. Yeah.
It's not about whether it was realistic or not. It's about content. Griffin didn't want to do it. That's the way it works. I was disappointed. I thought it would be good content for the show. I would have liked to have been. I think it would have been a great wedding. I would have enjoyed, doing some chicken dancing or whatever at the Bass D'Amelio nuptials. Didn't work out that way. That's the way it goes. I didn't fire Griffin because he didn't hit on Dixie D'Amelio, because I understand that's the way the world works now. Could you imagine if somebody... Hey, what happened over at Why are you no longer with Glenn Clark Radio?
Well, I didn't send a
I didn't
random tweet.
I didn't invite Dixie D'Amelio out for crab cakes and mini golf. Huh? No, really. That's the real reason. Try to explain that. But that's the way it works. That's the way all of this works. It's a level of consent. And I have no problem having a larger conversation about the way that we judge female, media personalities versus male media personalities. I think that's a worthy conversation to have, but not in the name of this is shameful. That's not the correct answer. The correct answer is if a female media personality wants to do this, that's okay. And we have to react that way if she's consenting to it. And everybody's different. Whatever you're into, whatever you want to do is not the same as somebody else. There are lots of stunts that I've done in my career that other people probably wouldn't have done. There's things that other people are doing that I wouldn't be willing to do. I mean, I guess somebody would have to tell me how much money is involved first, and then I'd think about it. For a certain number, I might be willing to do that. All of this, it's different for everyone. And that's the way we should be talking about it. The reaction to this should be, were the parties involved okay with what was happening here? If they were, all good. If they weren't, or they appeared as though they weren't, there's a lesson to take from that. And then we do the reverse thing. If that was a female talking to me, we need to be able to say, if the parties involved were okay with it, then it's okay. There's things that I'm not. I went out with some people that are in the media business recently, and I had a woman that started to dance on top of me, and I had to separate myself. They're like, we're not gonna tell your wife. It's fine. I'm like, nah, I'm not doing that. I'm not. No, is the answer. I would tell you there were professional athletes. This was not that long ago. It's weird to think that I went out. I don't go out much. But I was out somewhere. There were professional athletes that were out, and a woman came over to me and started dancing, literally, her body on top of mine. And I had to say no. No. And I got back. Literally, I heard, dude, we're not going to tell anybody. It's not what it's about. I'm not comfortable with this. This isn't okay. And I can say that. I have autonomy and the right to say that. I have the right to choose that. And I do understand there are situations where people don't feel like they do have the right. Like they're terrified. That's a problem with the workplace, and that's something that needs to be fixed. But we're doing it in reverse order. This is okay if it's on the up and up. If everything we think we saw is what we actually saw. The flip, hey, but it wouldn't be okay, then let's fix the other side of it. Let's stop thinking that it's okay to object. Let's fix our sexism problem that we have in the country. Let's do that. I'm in favor of that. Come back in. Tidbit, two-bitter, wind things down for a Would You Rather Wednesday edition of Glenn Clark Radio.
Discover luxury without limits at Live Casino and Hotel Maryland. This April, unlock a world of high-fashion delights and exclusive style. Earn entries daily starting April 1st and join our drawing on Friday, April 25th. 19 will win up to $2,000 in cash and free play. And one grand prize winner will take home a curated Versace homeware collection. At Arundel Mills, must be 21. Please play responsibly. For help, visit mdgamblinghelp.org or call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Driving in Maryland? Did you know an Easy Pass from DriveEasyMD.com can save you time and money? Of course you did, because you are a thrifty driver. An antenna reads your Easy Pass transponder and automatically deducts the toll from your Easy Pass account. Learn more at DriveEasyMD.com.
What makes the Costas Inn so special? This is Stan the Fan telling you that it's the people that work for you, cooking and serving. But that menu is also special with a capital S. Soups, salads, the raw bar, pasta dishes, seafood specialties, and entrees like the Costas combos, steaks, chops, ribs, amazingly delicious meatloaf, and all manner of delicious filling sandwiches, including pit beef and turkey and subs. Of course, the steamed crabs are as good as you you can get anywhere, and they serve them 12 months a year. The crab cakes are out of this world. Costas is open 7 days a week for lunch and dinner at 4100 North Point Boulevard. And coming soon, very soon, Costas in Timonium at the OTB Parlor at Timonium Racecourse. We'll get you the opening date real soon.
Gambling can be a fun and entertaining experience, but there are risks involved. If you're planning on betting on the game at the casino or on your phone or computer, know your limit, stay within it. Set a budget and a time to stop. Remember, gambling isn't a financial solution, and it doesn't mix well with alcohol or drugs. Know the risks and have a plan before you begin gambling. For free and confidential services, call 1-800-GAMBLER 24/7 or go to helpmygamblingproblem.org.
Want to improve your golf game or learn to play for the first time? The Baltimore Golf Academy has fun, instructional programs for the beginner golfer to everyday players. The Baltimore Golf Academy can take your game to the next level. Enroll today at baltimoregolfacademy.com.
Whether your focus is luxury and comfort, convenience and technologically advanced connectivity, or sporty performance and aggressive styling, we've got the perfect Highlander for you. Check out buyatoyota.com for deals on new Highlanders from your local Toyota dealer today.
Coming back in here with Glenn and the other guy, Garrett, whatever his name is. You know who they are.
All right, winding down for a Would You Rather Wednesday edition of the program. Get your responses in at Glenn Clark Radio on Twitter, Blue Sky, or Facebook. Anybody who responds is registered to win a $30 gift card to Glory Days Grill just for participating. That's all you have to do. Just respond to, even if you only respond to one, technically you're registered. It doesn't have to be a good response. I've given up hope on that. I stopped making it a show segment because I just gave up on getting good responses for the most part. Getting thoughtful, everybody just wants to Griffin it up. Everybody just wants to, I could do this and then I could do that. No.
That sounds like they're trying to make good points.
Nobody
and you
wants
just don't want to.
It
sounds like you don't want to hear anyone else.
That's exactly what the issue is. You've nailed it. Go get the print issue of Press Box. Drew is a big fan.
Yeah.
It's the only reason he was here today was to read the
took
print.
it with him. Yeah.
He legitimately took his with him. He really loves. He comes from an era of newspapers. Like legitimately, he would read the newspaper every day. So I think that's part of it. Is he just used to he loves that.
I like the newspaper too. I mean, when I was like with the Towson, when I was traveling with the Towson football team, whenever we were like staying in a new place, like I'd grab the paper out of the hotel lobby or something, and I'd read it at like breakfast the next day, just to see what was going on in that area.
I've never.
That's the only time really.
I've never known less about like who the statistical leaders were in when I was young, and my parents got the newspaper. Every day I would go to standings, and every day they would update like who the leading home run hitters were, RBI. They had the stats leaders in the standings every day in the newspaper. And when I was a young man, again, I also didn't have a lot going on in my life, was not burdened by, trying to intercourse, things along those lines. I could tell you who like the top 5 home run hitters were in the American League and the National League because they always had them in the newspaper, and they were more interesting to me than reading like the hunting and fishing stories they would squeeze into the sports section somehow. So I was talking about that recently with somebody, like NBA stats. They would put the NBA stats in. There wasn't even an NBA team in town, and they would put NBA stats in the newspaper. You would know who the leading scorers were. If you asked me who the 5 leading scorers were in the NBA,
that's funny you asked that because the tidbit.
Yeah, that's what tidbit is today. SGA. I got that for sure.
There you go.
For sure I've got SGA.
Yeah, definitely got that one.
But the newspaper did that for me. Anyway, the moral of the story is the print issue of Press Box is available for free at your neighborhood Royal Farms, any of the hundreds of locations around town where you find Press Box. Some good Samuel Basayo stuff in there, a little bit about Buzz Williams from some players who have played for him, and a cover story from Luke Jackson about Felix Bautista, Kyle Bradish, Tyler Wells, their returns. One of them is already back, and hopefully 2 will be coming back from Tommy John surgery. So go pick that up today. That new print issue of Press Box, your neighborhood Royal Farms, any of the hundreds of locations around town. And you can always read all of it at PressBoxOnline.com. I didn't really say we were leading into tidbit. I understand that's what you. I was just trying to think if there was anything else that I needed to cover today that I hadn't.
No.
I think we're good.
How many
I did
more
enjoy
stars does Charlie
watching.
Morton get?
Yeah, I mean, if they had another option, like you want to start having the conversation about when they feel if Brandon Young is pitching this weekend, not Gibson or the return of Eflin, then there is a conversation because it's one thing to say hey, Brandon Young's only here for a cameo. They're not really committing to him being a major league pitcher, so it's easy for them to when Gibson's ready, they just replace. He takes Young's spot.
Yeah.
But now we got some updates yesterday, injury-wise, on a bunch of guys. Do you have the whole tweet?
Yeah, I have Jake and Calvin Myers.
Okay.
Tweets.
Give me the whole rundown again.
All right, you're going to be a long time here.
Well,
Zach Eflin.
I don't really care about Enrique Bradfield and the guys that aren't.
Zach Eflin, hopeful. It's weeks, not months.
Boy, that really is burying the lead, right? Like, that should have been the thing that we would be talking the most about.
Week, whatever.
Like, in a world where the Orioles were just humming along and they didn't have bigger problems, our reaction to that would be, what you're saying is it's not impossible that it's months. That's the real takeaway from that, is he's not ruling out the possibility that it's months.
He's
for
only
Zach
out 12
Eflin.
weeks. Come on.
Yeah. That is
nothing.
that is really concerning as I read that again.
Grayson Rodriguez, 2 bullpens so far, no timetable yet. Still a lot ahead of us.
Doesn't seem great.
Kyle Bradish, coming off Tommy John, feeling great, and flying along. Still a long way to go, but hoping for a return later half of summer.
Okay.
Tyler Wells, he didn't have Tommy John, he had elbow surgery. A couple weeks behind Bradish, timeline similar. So also later half of summer, later than that. Andrew Kittredge with the knee is also flying along. Could be back late May. So that sounds like
late May.
So that sounds like honestly the most hopeful
of all of them.
Yeah.
Right?
Albert Suarez, which I guess we never said the exact
diagnosis.
diagnosis.
It's bad apparently.
Subscapularis.
Yeah.
Subscapularis. Restarting for resting for weeks. Return is months away.
Yeah. Not. So this is the issue, right? Like we just laid out is that doesn't sound like we made the deal with the devil. It sounds like Zach Eflin and Grayson Rodriguez are not particularly close.
No, it does not.
And so because of that,
Charlie Morton is your number one.
Like there's really no option here. The only option would be if Brandon Young makes a start this weekend and just deals. And you say
saves the season.
Like we got to keep in the rotation, and somehow he puts strings together enough starts that like he's got to stay. Then Kyle Gibson can replace someone else. I guess the first question is, how confident are they that Kyle Gibson's any better than Charlie Morton? And
well, I mean, his ERA is 9 right now, so
I understand. I get it. And is Charlie Morton the first guy they're going to replace? Or, as I said before, they've got to make a roster move just to get Brandon Young on the team. It ain't going to be Blewett. Somebody's got to go. Is it just as likely that it's going to be Cade Povich who goes? And this is where like the conversation really does get complicated. It's a complicated conversation. I guess Kramer would be maybe the other option for a guy that goes just because he has an option, and he hasn't pitched well either.
He's pitching well tonight. What are you talking about?
I hope so. I sure as hell hope so. Hey, this is
Chase
fun.
McDermott and Trevor Rogers, by the way, have thrown multiple pens and are facing live hitters next week. So
okay.
Also doesn't sound close.
I don't really know what that. Hey, this is bad. All right. Anyway, yeah, I think that's the rundown. Now, tidbit. Brought to you today by, brought to you by the Stan the Fan Variety Hour. If you missed Stan, Ross, and Luke getting together earlier in the week, Stan the Fan, Charles, Ross Grimsley, Luke Jackson, they talk baseball with you every Monday. Facebook.com/PressBoxSports, YouTube.com/PressBoxOnline, PressBoxOnline.com/video. It's all brought to you by the Costas Inn.
I was gonna do. I mean, let's do this. Let's do the leading scorers in the NBA.
Son of a bitch.
Or do you want to do, since you were talking about the Billboard? What's pick any week ever? What's the one week you think you could knock out the top 10 of the Billboard 100?
That's a terrible. I don't know. I don't know. I have no idea. I think I'm more likely to get the NBA scorers.
All right, then give me the top 10 scorers in the NBA this season.
Top 10 scorers in the NBA this season. All right, SGA.
Yes, SGA is number 1, 32.7 points per game.
Jokic.
Jokic is top 3.
Okay.
So he's on the list.
So there's somebody between SGA and Jokic. Ant.
Ant is 4th. So yes.
So, but he's not the one between the two of them. Cade Cunningham.
Cade Cunningham is top 10. He's 7th.
Son of a bitch. Somehow still Kevin Durant.
Somehow still Kevin Durant is averaging half a point better than Cade Cunningham, 26.6 points per game for.
So he's fifth?
Sixth.
How many am I supposed to be guessing?
I want you to get the top 10 here.
Oh, I thought you wanted me to get the top 5. I thought I was giving bad answers. Now I'm happy again.
You're fine.
Did Doncic play enough to qualify?
No, I guess not. I guess he did not here. LeBron did. Jeez.
All right. I mean, I get Tatum.
Yep, Jason Tatum is fifth.
Okay. Well, LeBron.
No, LeBron is outside the top 10. 24.4. He's tied for 12th.
Bum.
Yeah.
So, you know what?
Only played
Skip Bayless is right.
Only played 70 games this year.
Loser.
And he's the same age as you, is that?
Yeah. No, I think is he a year younger? Wait, when does he turn? He's 40. Yeah, he's a year younger.
LeBron James.
Giannis.
Yes, Giannis is number 2.
Okay.
Second leading scorer.
You know what the problem is with Giannis is you never know if he didn't play enough games or not because you're just not paying attention to the Bucks.
30 points per game, 67 games played. So you got the top 7 out of the way. We're looking for 8, 9, 10.
Tyrese Halliburton.
No, did he get an injury? I'm trying to think. I'm trying to figure out why
really?
he wouldn't be at least near the top.
He could have. Again, I only know that Doncic didn't.
Oh, no, he played a lot. He only scored 18.5 points.
Really?
Yeah, and he had.
He gets a lot of attention for a guy that.
Well, he averages 9.5 assists a game.
That's helpful.
He does a lot of other stuff.
That's helpful. Donovan Mitchell.
No spider.
Jalen Brunson.
Yes, Jalen Brunson is 8th with the New York Knicks. Okay. 26 points per game for him.
Steph.
No.
Okay. How many am I missing?
You're missing 9 and 10.
9 and 10. 9 and 10. Trae Young.
No Trae Young.
Devin Booker.
Devin Booker is 9th. 25.6.
I guess Joel Embiid didn't play enough games. Who am I kidding?
He played
There's
what,
no
2
chance
games?
that he played enough games. What am I doing? Kawhi probably didn't play enough games to be on this list. He never does.
Normally he doesn't, but he's been good when he's played.
What about Eamon Thompson?
No, not either of the Thompson twins. I think they both started coming on a little bit towards like the second half of the year too.
Okay. What about Wagner?
No Wagners. Franz Wagner,
Dude,
24 points per game. He was 15.
At one point, I was trying to figure out how the Magic were good. Like during the season, I was like, is it just Paolo? And then I looked, and I was like, Franz Wagner? What the? Franz Wagner? Really?
Franz Wagner.
Yeah, he was having a hell of a season. I'm missing...
number 10.
Number 10. Jamal Murray.
No Jamal Murray.
Damian Lillard.
Damian Lillard is 10th.
Okay.
24.9 points per game this season, and he must have just hit that cutoff.
All right, I just want you to read me this week's Billboard Top 10 and see how many of them I know.
Okay.
Like, that's all the game.
I'll just, since you named all the top 15 except for one, Karl Anthony Towns was 12th.
Okay.
So that's the top 15
all
there. This week's Billboard top top 100.
I just want you to read it to me, and we'll go song by song. I know you mentioned Luther. I know Luther
is number 1.
Right. And I'm just going to tell you honestly, do I know the song or not?
Number 2 is Drake, and it is Nokia.
Not familiar.
I'm sure I've heard it, but
does he have a new project?
I think that's like it's a new song though. Yeah.
Kind of surprised that we're still doing that. Kind of surprised.
Kendrick and Drake, number 1.
How about that?
On the Billboard. Number 3, it's the Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars song.
The Die with a Smile.
Die with a Smile is number 3.
Is that still? Wasn't that like number 1 for a while?
It did peak at 1. Yeah.
I don't like it as much as I've liked other Bruno Mars stuff, but I like it more than I like some other. Like it's weird, right?
It should have been in. They should have found a way to just put it in the Joker 2 movie. Because the Joker
would have saved it.
Was awful. I mean, it would have. It wouldn't have been me turning to my sister saying, "Can we?"
All right, so I'm 2 for 3.
I'm
here? 2 for 3 so far.
That was in there. And then number 4 is "Big the Plug" featuring Bailey Zimmerman. All the way.
I don't know none of that.
This is its first week on the chart.
What style of music is that?
Well, Bailey Zimmerman's a country guy, but Big the Plug is a hip hop.
Okay,
artist.
If you say so.
I'm trying to figure out when this song came out. Maybe it came out last week.
You could have been speaking French with all of that.
Number 5 is
It's not just that I don't know the song; I don't know the artists. At least Drake,
Big the
I'm
Plug,
aware of.
Yeah, Big the Plug is like
If you say
last
so.
couple weeks.
All
Or
right.
last couple months, I guess I should say.
2 for 4.
Number 5 is Chapel Roan.
The country one or the Pink Pony Club?
Pink Pony Club.
Okay.
Pink Pony Club.
Because I actually don't hate either of those songs. I don't like. I didn't really none of like the Hot to Go or they didn't do a lot for me. But Pink Pony Club is wonderful and the country song is good too. But I think it's just about her being willing to go down on girls. I realized. Like I was listening to the lyrics the other day. I'm like, oh,
And you got a
that's
problem
what
with that?
No, I have no problem. I just felt like an idiot that I was like, oh, like because I really had a question like why was Chapel Roan doing a country song? And I think it was just like a ruse to try to like do a song about, being a lesbian and try to make it
she's
popular.
bi, I think.
Is she bi?
That's what I thought it was. I thought maybe she.
Good,
maybe
good
she's
for her.
just a stripper.
No matter what she's
Either
doing,
way, yeah.
whatever she's doing, again, autonomy, consent. These are the important things. Whatever Chapel Roan wants to do, I'm on for it.
Interesting. On Spotify, they have Drake. They have Drake's song at number 1, and then Luther is second. So.
Maybe they might be in cahoots.
Yeah.
It might be.
But yeah, Big
So
the
three
Plug.
for
is-
5.
That song came out 2 weeks ago. By the way. So,
sure it did.
So that one's new. And it's spelled Big X the Plug. Maybe it's just I was skipping the X like it was a space. So I think it's Big X the Plug.
Okay.
Big X.
I got nothing on this.
Shabuzi's still in the top 6 here.
How?
A bar song.
That song's like 6 years old.
This is actually we're celebrating 1 year. It's 1 year anniversary of being in the top 100. It's been
How?
on the chart for 52 weeks.
How is that still? It was one of Shane Gillis's last SNL was not great, but it was when they were doing the black white news segment.
Oh yeah.
And it was, you have to guess whether it was a black person or white person. They're like at a Shabuzi concert, and the black people were like, "Ha ha, not us." And then the lady's like, "Who's Shabuzi?" And Shane Gillis said, "A musical genius." So good.
Number 7 is Alex Warren.
Nope.
Yeah, I don't know if I've heard that one. Ordinary.
All right, but still, I'm 4 and 3. I'm still more than I have.
Teddy Swims is 8th.
Is that what's his song? Lose Control?
Yes, Lose Control is 8th.
Yeah.
Good job. There you go.
But that seems like it's been out for a while, hasn't it?
86 weeks it's been on the charts.
Yeah, that's been around for a minute.
Morgan Wallen, Your Boy, is number 9.
I don't know what is it. The Post Malone song?
No, it's this is a solo song.
I'm sure it's awful.
New. It's one of his new songs
sure
too.
It's very bad.
It's I'm the Problem.
Yeah. You know what? Man, I do appreciate a little self reflection.
He's not the problem.
Yeah.
And then Benny Boone, old Benson Boone, number 10.
Oh, is it the Beautiful Things?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
So I knew 6 out of 10, which is probably the most that will happen all throughout the course of the year, and only because like half of all of the songs that I know have been around for at least like 40 weeks.
I mean, yeah.
If it's a new song, it's not one I'm familiar with. All right. That was an exercise.
Yeah, we're good. Yeah,
very good. Now let's do Tubular.
Have you ever thought of taking a cruise to these wonderful destinations with sunny skies and beautiful beaches? Well, wait no longer. We're ready for you to cruise from the Cruise Maryland Terminal.
Have a little phrase that you can go from baggage to margarita in about 15 minutes.
Choose fun with an array of destinations, onboard activities, entertainment, and world-class cuisine.
Contact your travel agent and book your cruise today. Let your adventure begin.
All right, here's what's coming up tonight, totally tubular-wise. The Orioles try again. Dean Kramer on the mound.
It's Passover. Come on, he's going to kill it.
Gavin Williams, the pitching matchup there. 6:35 on Masson 2, Guardians-Orioles. Big Ten Network tonight, Maryland Rutgers women at 6, ESPNU, Penn State Hopkins women at 6, ESPN Plus, Navy Lehigh women at 6. GoMaxSports.tv, actually a big one, York and Stevenson tonight at 7 will certainly determine who wins the regular season in the MAC Commonwealth. Masson Nationals Pirates 6:40, FS1 Mariners Reds 6:40, MLB Network Mets Twins at 1:10, Rockies Dodgers at 10:10. ESPN play-in continues, Heat Bulls at 7:30. So the winner of that goes on to face the Hawks for the 8 seed, and then Mavericks Kings at 10. The winner of that then faces the Grizzlies for the 8 seed in the West. TNT and True TV, Red Wings Devils at 7:30, Golden Knights Canucks at 10, USA for Newcastle United Crystal Palace at 2:30, Paramount Plus Champions League, Inter Milan Bayern Munich at 3, Real Madrid and Arsenal at 3, TBS for AEW Dynamite tonight at 8. Non-sports.
Non-sports-wise, we got, it's the season 4 finale of Abbott Elementary tonight on ABC. So Abbott season 4 comes to a close. Apple TV Plus, new episode of The Studio, Seth Rogen's thing, And then we get Government Cheese, a new show on Apple TV Plus, which is
there anything-
David Oyelowo.
Oh, okay. It's Oyelewu, I believe.
Yeah, that sounds.
Oh man, this is probably a bad segment. Let's maybe bail on this. Let's not.
San Fernando Valley. It's like based in San Fernando Valley in 1969. And so David's character, David O's character, gets he's comes back home from prison, and then he's trying to become like an inventor, but it throws off the whole dichotomy of it's an American dream.
Apparently, it's actually pronounced Oyelowo.
Oh, really?
I've never heard it.
Oyelowo. I mean, I guess that's how it looks.
It does look that way, but I could have sworn I've heard it pronounced.
But it's like a very surreal looking. It's based on surrealism, and it's kind of, I guess you don't know what reality is, but it looks well done. I'm not sure if it's for me. But Government Cheese on Apple TV Plus. The Diamond Heist is a docu-series on Netflix where this crime caper follows the attempted robbery of priceless diamonds, told by the gangsters who did it, and the police on their trails. It's executive produced by Guy Ritchie, so. It looks pretty well done if you're into a diamond heist.
All right. I mean, I do enjoy Guy Ritchie, and I do enjoy a heist. So maybe
Stephen Colbert's.
What's it called again?
The Diamond Heist. It's like a docu-series thing though. It's it's not like a show. It's
Take it back. Okay. When are we getting more of the? What was that show that I liked so much? The Kingdom, or what was the?
Going Dutch.
No, I did like Going Dutch.
Ghost. You're a Ghost guy.
I do. I'm a big Ghost. People tell me that Ghost is actually funny.
I mean, maybe it is.
I've never.
I'm not spending time
who
with
would
it.
know? Yes, it's not going to happen in my life. What was the damn show on Netflix that was British and kind of had some James Bond elements?
British baking.
No, it was. Damn it! This is going to drive me nuts. The guy's in a commercial right now where he pulls up in a nice car to a palace.
Like a spy show. British.
No, it was like a family that was losing money, and the son.
The Recruit. No, that's not it.
No, the son.
The Traitors.
No, definitely not the Traitors. I know you love Traitors. No, the son comes back and finds out that the family was involved with the dad was involved with organized crime, and now he has to take it over. And
was it there
it's very charming.
The dad killed off, or
the dad dies?
Okay, is it it's like a deli? The two?
No, that's on Hulu.
Yeah,
that's a different thing.
Okay.
Yes, I'm familiar with that show. This is British, and it's way more like James Bond. He's very charming. He's very good looking, and he's very capable.
Netflix spy shows.
But I don't think it's a spy.
Netflix. The Night Agent?
No.
The Spy?
No.
How long? Are you sure the show's recent? Netflix.
I'm not sure of anything.
Drama.
The Gentleman.
Oh,
the
yeah.
Gentleman.
Okay.
Was outstanding. When are we getting more of that?
I don't know. Guy Ritchie's doing this instead of more The Gentleman.
God, it's driving me nuts. Which was a movie, but I don't know nothing about the movie. The show, phenomenal. Phenomenal.
Okay, so you're talking about the show.
Yes, the movie itself. I know nothing about.
Apparently, it wasn't all that good, even though the cast.
Theo James is the guy I was trying to think of.
Theo James,
who's in a commercial right now where he's just being handsome and charming, and of course Giancarlo Esposito was in it because he's in everything that's good.
I would assume
if it's good, it involves Giancarlo Esposito.
Well, I guess since it's Guy Ritchie, maybe we'll get another one in 3 or 4 years.
God, I don't want to wait that long.
Well, you gotta wait.
It was renewed for a second season. I was very excited about it, but I don't know when that's going to be. So good. Gentleman was outstanding. Sorry, you were saying something about something.
Yeah, Colbert's gonna have. I guess he's struggling for. Yeah, he's gonna have his wife on, Evie Colbert, and.
What does she do?
I don't know. And Senator Elizabeth Warren. So.
They're promoting government cheese, but not the show. Actual government cheese, like the stuff that they gave out in the 80s.
Kimmel's got your two favorites, Rashida Jones.
Yes.
And Bill Simmons.
Really set me up for that. You son of a I love Rashida Jones. Plugging Amy Poehler's podcast.
Really?
Yeah.
Bill. What about Bill's?
Yes, that's what they're plugging. Is Amy Poehler's podcast.
Nice.
They're going on a world tour together to talk about it.
Yes. Rashida Jones is in the new season of Black Mirror. For
anyone okay. All right.
Interested.
I do love Rashida Jones. She's wonderful. Is that
That's
it?
it. That's
all
it.
right. Very good. Thanks to. By the way, remember we had Jim O'Hare on around Christmas, which was the only good thing that happened to me around Christmas. It was the worst month ever, except I got to chat with Larry Gergich, which just made me really happy. In his book, he does a whole chapter about getting to go to Quincy Jones' house and how out of place he was. like how obsessed he was with the idea that he was going to get to meet Quincy Jones. Like, I get to meet Quincy Jones, but like then feeling I do not belong here. It's pretty good. All right, thanks today to Drew. Thanks also to Grep Penn, Baltimore native, LSU linebacker, and thanks also to Elijah Saunders, incoming Terp. We'll get that up in the greatest hits section of the
Can You Take Me Higher?
tab at GlennClarkRadio.com. Tomorrow on the program, Rhino Hearn is joining us.
It's going to be a busy show, actually. Tyler DeHaat is going to join us.
I love Tyler.
Sticking around at Towson.
Which I think caught a lot of people by surprise.
Jordan Phillips is going to join us from Maryland.
Excellent.
And we'll do a draft segment as well with Mike Renner.
Mike Renner is going to join us. Now with CBS.
Yes.
He's been at PFF, obviously, for a while now. He's at CBS. All right, busy show tomorrow. Very good. Thanks to everybody at Pressbox, all of our great sponsors. And, that's what happens when you organize, Griffin. It's weird how that works.
Well,
Organization goes a long way. Thanks to everybody at Pressbox, all of our great sponsors and partners, Live Casino and Hotel, Cruise, Maryland, Crown Trophy, Brigance Brigade, Easy Pass, Baltimore's Classic 5 Golf Courses, HelpMyGamblingProblem.org, Costas Inn, Maryland Sports, your local Toyota dealer, buyatoyota.com. Don't forget, Saturday and Sunday night, Sports and Socials, Ultimate Ring Throwdown. We'll be there watching Mania, putting ones up.
Well, let's say freaking Rollins wins. That's fine.
Well, who are you rooting for?
Who is it? It's Seth and I don't
Seth,
care about
Roman,
CM Punk
and
like
Punk.
other people do.
So who are you rooting for?
I don't know. Not CM Punk.
Are you coming out or not? What is the deal?
I don't know. I
kind of need.
Okay.
I kind of need to book somebody else.
Then yeah, we'll focus on something else then.
I
can't commit to it right now.
You got a lot of.
Yeah.
Is this the week? Did Dixie call back?
No, it's not actually.
Because for that, I'll understand.
So should I just say yes then? Yes, it is.
Hey, all right, buddy. No problem. It's the moment we've been waiting for. Come join us Saturday night, and Sunday night, Sports and Social, Side Live Casino and Hotel. All right. Thanks to Griffin at Griffin_Bass. Follow us Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Glenn Clark Radio. Have a great weekend. Or not weekend. It's Wednesday night. God, I feel like Liz Lemon in that moment. Lemon, it's Wednesday. Have a great Wednesday night. Go Birds, for the love of God. Go Maryland, Hopkins, Navy women, and Stevenson men. Duke sucks.